Chapter 11:15. In the temple. Everyone had something to gain. Venerable Thunder Overlord and Taoist Fengyun seemed to have found what they wanted. Although they did not show it, Fang Ping noticed that both of them had stuffed things into their storage rings. Storage rings. Seeing their storage rings, Fang Ping thought of the few people who had died earlier. At that time, there were many people and the battle was chaotic. A few true gods were killed directly. Their storage rings were not even seen. As for Venerable Flame Emperor, he had died in Skywood Forest. His storage ring was not seen either. Fang Ping was a little regretful. He did not know how many treasures had been lost. At this moment, Fang Ping also picked up some books. Whether they were good or bad, he would put them away first. Soon, everyone had collected some rare books. However, everyone's storage space was limited. They did not collect all the books. Fang Ping could not show it now, so he did not take too many. Taoist Fengyun must have gotten what he wanted. He said with satisfaction, "Some of the records in the temple are very useful to everyone. However, in terms of treasures, the temple opposite has more." Temple, Ground Chi laughed. "Is it the place where the cult leader's treasures are listed?" "That's right," Taoist Fengyun introduced. The cult leader was the son of the earthly emperor, one of the 8 kings. He collected a lot of treasures in the past 8,000 years. Some of them are not of use to the cult leader, so they are all stored in the temple. King Kun had lived for so many years and had such a large force. Naturally, he had collected a lot of treasures. Many of the items that could not be used were stored in the treasure hall as a form of remembrance. There were only 3 main halls in the inner temple: Tao Hall, Treasure Hall, and All Spirit Hall. At this moment, everyone did not say much and went straight to the treasure hall. The treasure hall was opposite the Tao Hall. There were no defensive measures. The moment the door was pushed open, Fang Ping thought he had arrived at an exhibition hall. This place was different from the Tao Hall. This place was divided into exhibition tables. Each table had an item placed on it, but some were already empty. There were not many exhibition tables. King Kun had high standards, so he would not take a fancy to everything. Fang Ping glanced. There were about 40 to 50 exhibition tables. Some of them were already empty, and only about half of them had items in them. When they arrived at the treasure hall, Venerable Thunder and the others went straight to the deepest part. Everyone felt that the treasures were there. Why would they waste time on the periphery? Fang Ping took a look. There seemed to be restrictions on the booths, but he was not in a hurry. Moreover, if he were to compete with 2 venerable sovereigns now, he might not end up well. Fang Ping walked toward an exhibition stand with something on display beside him. On this display stand there was a broken sword. There was a record on the side of the broken sword. Over the years, King Kun had collected a lot of things. Some of them he recognized, while others he didn't. What he cared about was not their value, but their meaning. He sighed a little. A fragment of the beginner sword. The sword of the beginner sword god. One of the strongest beginner sword masters, defeated by Dong Huang. His sword was shattered and he died. Beginner sword god? Fang Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. This was actually a beginner martial artist's weapon, the sword of one of the strongest powerhouses, the powerhouse who had created the existence of martial arts. This time, it was also Fang Ping's first time learning about Dong Huang and the other emperor's battle achievement. This supreme master fought with Dong Huang and was defeated. His sword was destroyed and he died. As for King Kun, he had collected some fragments from somewhere. Even if it was just a broken sword and was separated by the seal, Fang Ping felt like he was seeing history. Could this be the first powerhouse to use a sword since the beginning of time? The broken sword seemed a little different from the current sword. It gave Fang Ping the feeling that it was similar to a stick. If it was not for the blade, he might not be able to recognize it as a sword. After so many years, this sword is still here. I'm afraid it's also a treasure. Old Manly uses a sword. I wonder if I can gain anything. Fong Ping had this thought in his mind. This might be the first martial artist to use a sword in the world. If there was something left behind, it should be helpful to Old Manly, right? Thinking of this, Fong Ping began to break the seal. The seal was not considered strong. King Kun probably only set it up to prevent things from weathering. Fong Ping quickly opened the seal. Holding the broken sword in his hand, Fong Ping sensed it for a while and frowned slightly. There was no strong qi movement, and there was no residual energy. It was of good quality. Fong Ping squeezed it, but the broken sword did not react much. I'll give it to Old Manly to study when I get back. Fong Ping put away the beginner sword. The others glanced at him. Someone scanned with mentality. In the distance, the Thunder Emperor was also breaking the seal. However, it seemed that the other side was much stronger. He did not break it, but he was also paying attention to everyone's movements. Seeing that Fong Ping had put away the broken sword, the Thunder Emperor said lightly, "This broken sword is a treasure." The so-called ultimate powerhouses are all the leaders of the beginner martial era. They are all top-notch heavenly kings. The weapons in the hands of the beginner martial era powerhouses are comparable to the divine weapons later on. Although the beginner martial sword is broken, it can be melted down and reforged. Maybe it can also be forged into an emperor weapon or even a holy weapon. He was just saying it. He did not pay much attention to it. Melting down and reforging these things was easier said than done. With this energy, they might even be able to reforge an emperor weapon or a holy weapon. Fong Ping did not care about him. Everyone knew that some things were more important than their value. If it was really a treasure, would these two emperors let them take it away so easily? Divine Emperor Nature Pill. Very soon, Fong Ping saw the second booth and the second treasure. Refined by the Divine Emperor, a work of games. Glorious Sun Effect. Fong Ping glanced at it briefly. It seemed like a rather useless pill. It could not enhance one's ability or strengthen one's foundation. Its only use was somewhat similar to Immortal Quest Island's Immortal Quest pill. It could be stuffed into the source world to act as a sun. This thing did not look big. In reality, after entering the source world, it could be hung high in the sky and used as a sun. However, Immortal Quest Island's Immortal Quest pill seemed to have some other uses. This Divine Emperor Nature pill was actually a high-powered light bulb. Powerhouses did not care whether their source world was bright or not. This was indeed not very useful. However, Fong Ping was still very interested. After all, it was a pill refined by an emperor. It was also considered a treasure. He took it. No one snatched this thing from him. This time, Thunder did not even introduce it because it was indeed a little useless. Fong Ping put it away. He did not dare to eat it now. Who knew how old this pill was and whether it would expire? Brain source. When powerhouses die, their spiritual consciousness will overflow and bloom and bear fruit. This is called brain source. When he saw the third treasure, Fong Ping looked at it again and again. It looks so familiar. This thing. Haven't I seen this thing before? Brain source. Heavenly God fruit? In the next moment, Fong Ping cursed in his heart. Old Wang and the other bastards, this was what they gave me to eat last time, right? They actually lied to me and said it was some heavenly God fruit. Heavenly treasure, my foot. This thing turned out to be something that grew on powerhouses' heads after they died. However, it did have the effect of increasing mentality, and the effect was not bad. According to King Kuan's introduction, this brain source was found on the corpse of a heavenly king powerhouse. Brain source. Not everyone would grow it after they died. It depended on the probability of this thing. The probability was very low. When they died, the head was still there and not completely obliterated. This situation was actually rare. It was mainly helpful for powerhouses below True God. As for those above True God, the effect was average. Of course, this was the brain source of a heavenly king powerhouse. Perhaps it would have some effect on True Gods. Fong Ping glanced at it and did not care about it. He did not really need it. For him now, having a strong mentality was not much of a benefit. He did not want his brain core to explode. It's not bad to leave it for others. Old Yao can use it, right? Fong Ping did not care so much. He broke the restriction again and kept it. At this moment, the others also broke the restriction one after another, collecting some treasures. Not far from Fong Ping, Ground Shi broke a restriction and collected a long spear. Ground Xing's eyes were red. It seemed like he knew what it was. Fong Ping also used his mentality to take a look. The weapon used by this king at True God. In a short sentence, Fong Ping knew what it was. It was actually the weapon used by King Kuan back then. It was probably a top-notch True God weapon, even if it was not an Emperor weapon. No wonder Ground Shi could not close his mouth from smiling. This spear was the most suitable for him now. He had near Emperor strength. Using the long spear that King Kuan had used until he reached Emperor level was just right. Taoist Fengyun did not say anything. In the distance, Venerable Thunder was still breaking the restriction that he had just broken. At this moment, he said lightly, "It's best not to take the sect leader's weapon. Once the sect leader returns," the divine weapon was used by the sect leader back then. As soon as these words came out, Ground Shi's expression changed slightly. King Kuan might not care about ordinary things, but he could sense the weapon that he had used for many years even if it was far away. If he took this weapon, it would be really dangerous. Ground Shi struggled for a while. Although he was a little reluctant, he still made up his mind. He would just use it this time. After this was over, he would throw this spear away. Everyone was breaking the restriction. Some things were really worthless. For example, on the exhibition stand that Fong Ping encountered now, there was a somewhat dilapidated plaque. Earth Palace, written by my father personally. King Kuan did not explain much, but the engraving gave Fong Ping a somewhat unpleasant feeling. Earth Palace's plaque. Back then, Earth Emperor personally wrote it. Unfortunately, it was destroyed later on. He had also searched for a long time before he accidentally found a piece of ruins and took this plaque away. The plaque was already dilapidated. The 3 words Earth Palace on it were also dilapidated. Only one complete word was left, the remaining 2 were blurred. Fong Ping wanted both good and bad things, and he did not mind. He still remembered that back then, Li Zhen had written a piece of calligraphy for Old Man Li. It was very powerful. Old Man Li's myriad Dao unification was related to that piece of calligraphy. This was written by Earth Emperor. Perhaps it had some special effects. Fong Ping broke the restriction again and took away the plaque. Seeing that he took everything, everyone was speechless. For powerhouses, if some things were useless to them, then there was no need to take them. Fong Ping continued to wander, taking away a few more treasures. At this moment, Venerable Thunder Emperor and Taoist Windcloud actually took away a single thing. Both of them were still competing with the few exhibition stands in the deepest part of the hall. Fong Ping and the others had also taken away most of the things one after another. This time, even Fong Ping did not fancy the remaining treasures, so he did not take them. The wooden sword that Hongyu used in the past, forged from heavenly wood branches. Fong Ping glanced at it and ignored it directly. Heavenly wood was still alive, and it was much stronger than before. This wooden sword forged from branches was probably comparable to a rank 7 or 8 divine weapon. Fong Ping did not fancy it. Fong Ping also remembered some of the treasures that the others had taken away. There were none that were too strong. Most of them were of little value. The long spear that Ground Shi took away was probably the best. At this moment, everyone was also staring at the few exhibition stands in the deepest part of the hall. Taoist Windcloud and Venerable Thunder Emperor had occupied that area the moment they arrived. Until now, they had not taken away a single treasure. They also wanted to see what kind of treasure was worthy of the 2 Venerable Emperors' attention. Fong Ping did not go over to Taoist Windcloud's side. Instead, he went over to Venerable Thunder Emperor's side. Thunder did not care about them either, continuing with his own work. One-legged ox bone. Fong Ping took a look at the introduction and instantly understood why Venerable Thunder Emperor wanted to compete here. One-legged ox. Fong Ping knew about this. It was also known as the Thunder Beast. Venerable Thunder Emperor did not seem to have a divine weapon. In the exhibition stand in front of him, there was a bone from an unknown location. It was green in color, and the bone was like jade. There seemed to be lightning flashing on it. This thing did not need to be forged. Fong Ping felt that it was probably an emperor weapon. A natural emperor weapon. No, maybe it was even stronger. No wonder Venerable Thunder Emperor did not care about anything else and only cared about this. If he got his hands on this thing, his combat strength would increase significantly. Moreover, it looked like he could use it the moment he got it. Looking at Venerable Thunder Emperor's determined look, Fong Ping sensed for a while. The restriction was not weak. It seemed that the more precious something was, the stronger the protection. Or perhaps this bone had weathered and was deliberately made a little stronger. Looking at Venerable Thunder Emperor's appearance, he should be able to break the restriction very soon. Fong Ping strolled over to Taoist Windcloud's side. This time, he did not go near. This old man knew that he was Fong Ping. He had to be careful. Origin soil. Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. Just 3 words, an extremely simple introduction. On the exhibition stand there was a jade box. The so-called origin soil was probably placed in the box. Fong Ping saw that Taoist Windcloud was also determined to get it. From a distance, he smiled and said, "Lord Protector, this origin soil." Taoist Windcloud glanced at him and did not say a word. On the other side, Venerable Thunder Emperor said thoughtfully, "Origin soil. That is, of course, the soil of the Source World. The Source World is a world between illusions. According to common sense, everything inside is illusory. However, it is said that when the first powerhouse who opened up the Tao opened up the Source World, he brought out some things from it. For example, origin soil. The first powerhouse who opened up the Tao." Fong Ping was dazed for a moment. Who opened it up? Was it not a sovereign? The things inside the Source World were indeed fake. Anyway, Fong Ping could not bring anything out from it, except for origin qi. Origin qi was not considered a physical substance. It was just a way of presenting power. Did the Source World really have soil? It's just a rumor. Venerable Thunder Emperor smiled faintly. As for who was the first to open up the Tao, I'm not too sure either. He should have died a long time ago. That person should also be considered a beginner martial artist. We are actually all considered the inheritors of beginner martial artists. It's just that the Tao of origin has been passed down in all the martial arts path. It has been perfected and perfected. The first powerhouse to open up the Tao of origin was, of course, also considered a beginner martial artist. This was also a completely different Tao that had been passed down for tens of thousands of years. After listening for a while, Fong Ping could not help but say, "Sir, then this origin soil," Venerable Thunder Emperor said lightly, "there is an ancient legend that when the Source World fuses with origin soil, it can recreate the world, turning the Source World into a real world. But reality proved that it was all fake. The origin soil was not necessarily the soil of the origin world. Perhaps it was just a kind of treasure. Someone had fused with it before. Its greatest use was to consolidate the Source World. However, no matter how stable the Source World is, it can't compare to the advancement of the Great Tao. It's not trash, it's still a type of supreme treasure. It's just that it's not as mystical as the legends say." Fong Ping's gaze flickered. That was also a treasure. Many people in the Source World did not attach much importance to the Great Tao. However, Fong Ping still attached great importance to it. He did not expect Taoist Feng Yun to be fighting for this. What is this old man trying to do? He also wanted to consolidate his Source World? Taoist Wind and Cloud said calmly, "That's not all. Stabilizing the origin world isn't a big deal. Its greatest use is to establish a pure land in the origin world. It was a real piece of soil. Of course, if that was all there was to it, it wouldn't be that useful. Origin Earth was extremely rare, and it wouldn't appear in large amounts. The real world it established was extremely small. However, at crucial moments, he could still protect one or two people. There was no place more mysterious and safer than a cultivator's origin world. If you hide someone anywhere, there's a chance they'll be discovered. If you hide them in your own origin world, then they might not be discovered by others. If you have parents, younger sisters, teachers, friends, when you encounter a disaster, you might be able to hide one or two people." When he said this, he was looking at Fong Ping. A cold glint flashed in the depths of Fong Ping's eyes. This fellow was talking to him. Fong Ping. At this moment, Taoist Wind and Cloud's voice rang in his mind. "I'm taking the origin Earth not because I need it. Do you want it?" Fong Ping said nothing. "In the future, when the Great War of the Three Realms breaks down, where will your family hide even though the world is big? Fong Ping, you're not afraid. Are your relatives like you, unafraid too? Only by establishing a pure land in my own origin world will I be able to protect some people. In the past, do you know why so many people survived in Outland and the Blessed Grotto Heaven? The war was so intense, why didn't many people die? Is it really because Outland is powerful, the Blessed Grotto Heaven is powerful? Not really. Some powerhouses have also obtained the origin Earth, and established a small heaven and earth in their own origin world to protect these people. If you're injured and hibernating, these people will also sleep with you in the origin world and won't appear. If you're injured and hibernating for 10,000 years, 10,000 years later, the world will change, your old friends will have long turned into white bones." Fong Ping looked at him and continued to maintain his silence. "I can give you the origin Earth. I'm alone in this world, I don't need the origin Earth. As for you, the only thing you need to do is to help me strip the Celestial Emperor's Tao. Of course, the origin Earth is not enough. But if I promise..." Taoist Wind and Cloud paused for a moment. "What about promising to protect your human race from now on? Just like Heavenly King Garrison, he was originally not a human. Of course, I'm not as powerful as Heavenly King Garrison, but I've been an emperor for many years. After integrating the Tao of Celestial Emperor, I might be able to become a saint, a heavenly king. As for you, I think you might not care about other people's Tao. Moreover, you've just reached true God, you might not be able to integrate the Tao of Celestial Emperor. Help me once and exchange the protection of a saint or even a heavenly king for your human race. Is it not worth it?" Fong Ping's eyes flickered. "You have to know that this place is where the heavenly court is. If I really want to harm you, can you escape from the palm of my hand? Once people find out that you're Fong Ping, Thunder and the others won't let you go." Fong Ping's mentality fluctuated slightly. "How can I believe that once you integrate the Tao of Celestial Emperor, you'll let me go? Who knows if you'll go back on your word?" Finally, Fong Ping responded. Taoist Wind and Cloud was delighted. A response was a good thing. "Don't worry, I've broken into the Kuan Palace this time, and seized the Celestial Emperor's golden body. King Kuan won't let me go. And I also need a powerhouse to protect me. Heavenly King Garrison is enough to do it. The other heavenly kings might not fight against King Kuan for me. Moreover, I'm also worried that others will covet the Tao of Celestial Emperor. Although you humans are called devils, you're more trustworthy. For the future, for survival, I'll cooperate with you. That's the best choice." He did not say anything like a promise. These words were nonsense to powerhouses. He was analyzing the future for Fong Ping, analyzing the benefits, analyzing everything he would face in the future. No matter how he thought about it, if he wanted to find a powerhouse to cooperate with, the human race was indeed more reliable. Fong Ping pondered for a moment. After a while, he said, "We can cooperate, but to ensure my safety, I can't strip the Tao of Celestial Emperor for you here." Taoist Wind and Cloud was silent. Clearly, he did not believe Fong Ping. Did he have to go out? Fong Ping said again, "You don't have to go out either. Go to Heavenly Wood Forest. Heavenly Wood is mine, but Heavenly Wood's body can't be moved. We'll trade within 100-mile radius of Heavenly Wood. I'll strip the Tao for you, and you let me go. This way, Heavenly Wood can't do anything to you, and you can attack me at any time. Within 100-mile radius, Heavenly Wood's strength is definitely inferior to yours." Taoist Wind and Cloud said telepathically, "Heavenly Wood is indeed on your side." 10,000 feet above Heavenly Wood, Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "You'd better not know. It won't do you any good." Sure enough, Taoist Wind and Cloud did not ask any more. He continued to break the restriction, and soon said, "But if it's here, I'm no match for Thunder, then I'll help Venerable Thunder Emperor. This is also the deal." Fong Ping's answer was straightforward. After all, it was impossible to strip it here. "If you're no match for him, then I'll go and help Venerable Thunder Emperor. This fellow will also agree." King Fong Ping, your reputation is well deserved. Taoist Wind and Cloud sighed and said, "So be it. 100 miles away. 100 miles away, even a saint would not be able to do anything to him. If a saint attacked from 100 miles away, they might not be his match." As for Fong Ping, he was a powerhouse among the emperor rank. Could Fong Ping escape from him? Moreover, cooperation might really be possible. This time, he had definitely offended King Koan badly. If he did not find a powerhouse to protect him, he would not feel at ease. No matter how he thought about it, among the three realms, Heavenly King suppression was still more suitable. Of course, the current Taoist Wind and Cloud did not feel that the word cooperation was very harsh. Fong Ping, however, muttered in his heart, "It seemed like those fellows who cooperated with him did not end up well. This fellow was really bold." 9 Heaven's Divine Emperor. Chapter 11:16. After negotiating with Taoist Windcloud, Venerable Emperor Thunder and Taoist Windcloud were about to break the restriction. Fong Ping hurriedly said, "You need to give me the origin soil later. Otherwise I will be worried." Worried? Taoist Windcloud's tone was slightly deep. Was he worried that he would be defeated and die? Or was he planning to run after leaving the Kunwang Hall? Despite his guesses, Taoist Windcloud still agreed readily. "Okay." He agreed readily. The origin soil sounded magical, but its use was really limited. What was the use of opening up a small piece of real soil in one's own source world? Hide a few people? Hide some things? It was not very meaningful anyway. So what if he gave it to Fong Ping? He had taken this to entice Fong Ping to prove his loyalty and to show his sincerity in cooperating with Fong Ping. A few minutes later, the restriction was broken. Both of them broke the restriction almost at the same time. Venerable Emperor Thunder was overjoyed and hurriedly took the one-legged ox bone in his hand. Suddenly, thunder appeared in the void and lightning flashed. Everyone's expression changed slightly. With this one-legged ox bone, Venerable Emperor Thunder had really become stronger, and Taoist Windcloud also took the jade box. The box contained the origin soil. He opened it and took a look. Everyone was a little surprised. This origin soil did not look like soil at all. It was clearly a crystal brick. It was not big, half the size of a normal brick. In fact, it was a rectangular block. Taoist Windcloud took a look, closed the box, and did not look again. Of course, he did not give it to Fong Ping at this time. At this moment, the treasure hall was almost ransacked. Everyone looked outside, looking at the main hall in the middle. The Thousand Spirit Hall was also the most important hall, where the Celestial Emperor's golden body was. Everyone was extremely nervous. Ground Wonder could not help but ask, "Lord Windcloud, Has the Celestial Emperor really fallen? He was a little scared. This was a supreme powerhouse ranked 14th in the three realms. In the past, they had seen it once from afar. That aura was incomparably powerful, almost tearing them apart. Fortunately, King Kunwang was still around, but how many years had it been? At that time, they had only caught a glimpse of it. Even if he did not fall, he will not be resurrected. Taoist Fengyun answered straightforwardly. If he could really come back to life, Cult Master wouldn't have been unprepared all these years. With that, Taoist Fengyun smiled. If you don't dare to go, then don't. Everyone's eyes flickered. They had already come to this point, yet they didn't dare to go. Taoist Fengyun continued, Heavenly Emperor Golden Body is incomparably powerful. Disregarding the Tao of a Heavenly Emperor, the flesh and blood of a Heavenly Emperor were all supreme treasures. One of its bones was definitely not inferior to the Kuei ox bone. Its flesh was even comparable to a saint-level supreme treasure. If we can observe the Celestial Thearka's golden body for a long time, maybe you and I can also forge our golden bodies to the level of Celestial Thart. Taoist Wind and Cloud said with a smile, I won't lie. Let's all go in together. If there's any danger, you'll be the first to die, and I can take the chance to escape. So, I don't want you to leave now. Everyone was silent. If that's the case, then let's go in. Ground said after a moment of silence. Take a gamble. The golden body of the Heavenly Emperor. Who knew who would obtain it in the end? In the Thousand Spirit Palace. It was as quiet as ever. The golden statue was still standing there. The huge dog head was still looking at the sky. However, if one kept looking, they would notice that the mouth that was wide open earlier seemed to have closed slightly. The teeth that were glinting coldly were now almost indiscernible. The lantern-like eyes at this moment were less cold, not as sharp as before. At this moment, a faint sound came from outside the hall. Go in. Celestial Thearka's golden body is inside. Be careful, Celestial Tharch is incomparably powerful. His golden body is immortal. His chi can tear the void, you must be careful. A faint sound came from outside the hall. In the next moment, the hall door was opened. As soon as it opened, a few muffled groans were heard. Fong Ping's mouth was bleeding. His face was full of shock. He was actually injured by a dog's corpse. What did this mean? While he was shocked, he also saw the golden body of the Heavenly Hound. Although it was huge, Fong Ping had seen monsters that were even bigger than the Heavenly Hound. The Heavenly Hound's golden body was not considered big, it was only more than 10 meters tall. It was 3 to 4 stories tall, not even as big as a rank 9 monster plant. Some rank 9 monsters were even bigger than the Heavenly Hound. However, the key was not the size. At this moment, the Heavenly Hound in his eyes was incomparably huge, covering the sky and the sun. In his eyes, there was only the Heavenly Hound. Puff! Fong Ping's eyes exploded directly. He could not look directly at this golden body. Not only him, the others also groaned one after another, including Ground Chi. The two venerable emperors were slightly better, but the others, without exception, had their eyeballs burst one after another, blood splattering everywhere. It was too terrifying. It was the first time Fong Ping was injured by a powerhouse's chi to this extent. It was fine if he was alive, but the Heavenly Hound was dead. Whether it was really dead or fake, at this moment, the Heavenly Hound had no life aura. The Heavenly Hound was very strong. Its chi tore the void, but it was indeed missing something important, no life aura. Fong Ping's eyeballs recovered quickly, golden light flashing in his eyes. He looked at the Heavenly Hound again. Domineering! It was the same as the Heavenly Hound he saw the cat describe. No more domineering. After all, that was only outlined by mentality, not the real body. At this moment, Fong Ping had no doubt that this was the Heavenly Hound, this was its golden body. It was so powerful that it was shocking. It was so domineering that it made people surrender. At this moment, Fang Ping had a vague urge to kneel down, worship it, submit to it. Humph! A muffled groan was heard. Beside Fang Ping, true Lord Earthfly's golden body suddenly cracked open, golden blood flowing. Powerful! True Lord Earthfly was shocked. He was a true god, after all, and a true god who had walked more than 4,000 meters of Tao. His strength was not considered weak. But he was still injured. Ground Shi was in a worse state than him. Ground Shi, who did not dare to use Tao, still had the golden body from before, but it was not very strong. At this moment, his flesh and blood exploded. How do I take this away? Ground Shi was also inexplicably shocked. How do I take such a powerful golden body away? Just as he was thinking about this problem, a figure flashed and disappeared, heading straight for the Heavenly Hound's golden body. The next moment, this figure flew backward at an even faster speed. Bang! Thunder Venerable Emperor flew backward, smashing into the basilica wall, causing the basilica to tremble. At this moment, Thunder Venerable Emperor's hands were covered in blood, his face full of shock. Fang Ping and the others saw a little. This guy just suddenly attacked, trying to grab the Heavenly Hound's golden body. Who knew that the closer he got, the stronger the aura, directly cutting his palm into a bloody mess. So strong? Thunder was also shocked. This was also ridiculously strong. He was a venerable emperor, but he could not even get close to a golden body. How could he fight for it? Everyone seemed to feel powerless for the first time. A venerable emperor could not even get close to the Heavenly Hound's corpse? If powerhouses like King Kuan did not restrain themselves and revealed their golden bodies normally, would they not even be able to get close? Fang Ping could not help but think of the time when he cut the Rose City Lord outside the Void Mausoleum Grotto Heaven. At that time, he was so powerless, not even able to cut the other party's golden body. At that time, he was rank 6, the other party rank 9. If a ranked 9 powerhouse stood there for him to cut, he might not be able to kill the other party. This was weakling. And today, he felt this powerlessness again. While feeling powerless, he was also excited. I want to become stronger. I want to become as strong as the Heavenly Hound. No, stronger than it. The Heavenly Hound was so powerful, but it still fell in the heavenly cemetery. Even if it resurrected again, it would also fall that time. Fang Ping was still thinking when Taoist Fengyan shouted, "The Celestial Emperor is too strong. Everyone, join forces and seal the Celestial Emperor's aura." As soon as he said that, the treasured mirror appeared, emitting intense light. Bang! The space exploded. The treasured mirror's light collided with the aura emitted by the Heavenly Hound, creating a crack in the void. Fourth heaven. Just the collision of auras broke the fourth heaven. Ground and the rest's expressions changed. This was too dangerous. They might not even be able to get close to the Heavenly Hound's corpse, and they still wanted to snatch the treasure? Seal quickly. Even if we can't last long, we can still get close. Taoist Fengyan shouted again. At this time, Thunder Venerable Emperor also returned. He snorted coldly. His mentality erupted instantly, overwhelming the world. Join forces to seal the Celestial Emperor's golden body first. He also suffered a small loss earlier, and even embarrassed himself by being sent flying by the Celestial Emperor's corpse. When everyone heard that, their eyes flickered, and they all released their mentality. Let's seal it first. Even if it was broken soon, they could get close to the Heavenly Hound, unlike now, where it was difficult to even get close. Seal. Everyone shouted. In the hall, cracks filled the place. At the same time, the door of the hall opened, and the Heavenly Hound's aura also leaked. At this moment, underground, suddenly, a burst of aura erupted from the amber. Who? This aura. This Heavenly Hound. The last word was filled with extreme anger and resentment. Heavenly Hound. At this moment the amber cracked. The golden bone wanted to come out. The aura of the Heavenly Hound, that damned dog, he sensed it, He sensed it, that disgusting dog smell. He did not know that the man and the dog had been neighbors for 3,000 years. He also did not know that the dog had stood in his palace for 3,000 years. Regardless of whether he knew or not, at this moment, the guardian of the spring was furious. He wanted to kill the dog. This dog had beaten him for 300 years. Those 300 years were unbearable times. Now, the first moment he woke up, he actually smelled the dog's scent again. He was furious. Why did this dog appear in his territory? I want to go out. Let me out. The amber could not crack. This was a restriction that he had melted all his strength into when he was in danger. It was not real amber. At his peak, he was also extremely powerful. Even after more than 8,000 years, the amber was still powerful. He was only at the initial stage of recovery. How could he break the amber so quickly? But he could not hold it in any more. Let me out. I want to kill that dog. The Golden Bone's head was shouting and roaring. Get out quickly. He hated dogs. He would go crazy when he smelled a dog. At the same time, in the hall, the pupils of the huge golden dog seemed to change slightly. Very quickly, another image was reflected in his pupils. 6 people. 6 people were close to the golden body and were constantly releasing mentality, trying to seal the aura. The big dog did not change. Its body did not move, but its pupils seemed to spread a hint of contempt and disdain. The aura was still overflowing. At this moment, a person was reflected in the big dog's pupils again. Fong Ping. There seemed to be some doubt in the big dog's eyes. Something was wrong. Fong Ping, who was disguised as Yun Xing, probably did not know that when he first met Tengu, Tengu already felt something was wrong. If he knew, Fong Ping would probably think more. Disguise did not seem to be omnipotent. Cat, at this moment, the image in Tengu's eyes changed again. Behind Fong Ping there was a cat. A cat that had been sleeping and snoring. Cat. People. Not only that, the image was still changing. There were more people. Behind Fong Ping, an illusion appeared. Tengu's pupils seemed to reflect the heavens. It saw a lot of people. The first person to appear was not a stranger. King Marshal Zhang Tao. A stranger. Tengu did not know him. The next moment, a somewhat familiar person appeared. He looked old and always had a smile on his face. King Subduing. Tengu did not pay much attention, however. In the next moment, the image in Tengu's pupils trembled. Another person appeared, carrying a blood-red longbow, his expression indifferent. Fight. In the next moment, an armored powerhouse appeared. Tyrant. Run. This was a vague consciousness. Run. He had to run. Celestial Emperor Batian. When he saw it, he wanted to smash its head. That year, during the final battle of the 3 realms, Celestial Emperor Batian's roar shook the sky. Where are you dogs? I'll smash your dog head. Terrifying. It hid for a long time with its tail between its legs. Not only that, very soon, another person appeared with a spear. Destroy. This was fine, but it was also terrifying. During that battle, Destroy was also there. Although he did not say anything, a dog that did not bark when it bit was more terrifying than Tyrant. It was not just these people. At this time, behind Fong Ping, another figure appeared. I don't know. Yes, Tengu did not know. Demon Emperor. The image in Tengu's pupils flashed and disappeared. Very soon, another illusion appeared. One illusion, somewhat illusory. Tengu did not recognize it. The second illusion was even more illusory. Still did not recognize it. The third illusion still did not recognize it. It was too illusory, almost indiscernible. Vaguely, some human shapes could be seen. The pupils continued to reflect Fong Ping. After a while, Fong Ping's figure dissipated. The second person appeared. It was none other than Fengyun. At this moment, behind Taoist Fengyun, there was also a huge figure floating. After the pupils reflected for a while, Taoist Fengyun disappeared. As for the other 4 people, there was no reaction. The pupils no longer showed images. Fong Ping and the others, however, did not know what was happening. At this moment, they were all unleashing their mentality to seal Tengu's qi. 2 emperors and 4 true gods unleashed their mentality just to seal a corpse's qi. If word got out, no one would believe it. Xing be careful. Just as Fong Ping was also unleashing his mentality, true Lord Di Fei beside him was a little worried. He said telepathically, "Don't rush to the front. You and I should stay closer. Once the golden body is sealed later, I'm afraid they'll fight for it." Fong Ping frowned slightly. He did not say anything. After thinking for a while, he moved closer to Di Fei. "Don't expose the saint token in front of the 2 emperors." "Got it. Be careful of Di Xing. He must have obtained some opportunity. He might be hiding his strength," Di Fei warned again and again, moving closer to Fong Ping. At this moment, everyone was still sealing Tengu's qi. The light on Taoist Fingyun's treasure mirror was getting brighter. The 1-legged ox bone in Thunder Emperor's hand was also getting brighter. They were about to succeed. At this moment, an unexpected scene happened. Fong Ping was still sealing when true Lord Di Fei suddenly unleashed his mentality. He struck with his palm, not at Fong Ping, but at the seal in front of him. Rumble! The seal was broken. At this moment, Tengu's qi overflowed. Fong Ping's golden body made a creaking sound. Not only that, in the next moment, Di Fei was furious. He had already struck Fong Ping's head with his palm. At this moment, this true god's qi exploded. He was furious. While he was angry, he was also inexplicably sad. "You killed my son. Why? You deserve to die. I've been cautious for thousands of years. My son slept for 2,000 years, and almost never left Heavenly Cloud's island. You deserve to die. You deserve to die." Di Fei was extremely crazy. At this moment, he had broken Fong Ping's seal. Tengu's qi exploded and attacked Fong Ping. It was also attacking him, but he did not care. At this moment, his golden body was also cracking. However, he was frantically attacking Fong Ping toward Tengu. He wanted to kill this person who impersonated his son. He had been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. He knew that he might not be able to kill this impersonator. The other party was very strong. He might not be weaker than him. Even if he was weaker, it would be very difficult for him to kill him. Only at this moment, Tengu's qi was very strong. As long as he attacked this person to Tengu's side, Tengu's qi might be able to tear him apart. Even if it could not, he was still here. He had a chance to kill him. At this moment Di Xing was stunned. Di Qi was stunned. The 2 venerable emperors and venerable Thunder were also shocked and surprised. Venerable Fengyun was not surprised. He just frowned slightly. Exposed. Fong Ping's identity had been discovered by Di Fei. This was a little troublesome. Fong Ping's face was gloomy. He did not say anything. While defending against Tengu's qi, he counterattacked and fought with Di Fei in the void. The 2 of them were getting closer and closer to Tengu's golden body. Fong Ping already felt that his golden body could not hold on much longer. Di Fei was even worse. Golden blood kept spurting and evaporating. But Di Fei was crazy. He wanted to perish together with Fong Ping. He wanted to kill this person with his own hands. He did not ask Di Qi and the others for help because he knew too well that these people were all mercenaries. As for whether they were cooperating with someone else or Yun Xing, did it matter? They did not care. They might even leak the secret. Therefore, if he wanted to kill this person, this was the only time. Who was pretending to be his son? He did not know. He did not know much about Fong Ping. He had some vague guesses, but he did not want to think about it. No matter who it was, he would kill him. "Are you crazy?" Seeing that both of them were bleeding, Fong Ping yelled angrily, "Lord Di Qi, 2 venerable emperors, stop him!" He's crazy. I'm crazy. Di Fei was hysterical. He roared, "Yes, you're crazy. How dare you kill my only son? You deserve to die. Whoever stops me today, I won't stop until he's dead." Fong Ping was depressed. Di Fei was making things difficult for him at this time. This was a little troublesome. Beside him, Venerable Thunder's eyes flickered. Di Fei was crazy. Or was the Yun Xing in front of him really fake? Fake? Who was the imposter? At this moment, everyone had some vague thoughts in their minds. If Yun Xing was fake, then who could impersonate him so realistically? Fong Ping. In the three realms, unless it was someone much stronger than them, they might not be able to distinguish the aura. However, it was almost impossible to hide from them if their strength was equal or slightly weaker. Only Fong Ping. Venerable Thunder was a little excited. If Fong Ping, Celestial Emperor's golden body, was here, then what was the point of sealing? He could just strip his Tao. He had originally thought that even if he snatched the Celestial Emperor's golden body, it would not be easy. The seal would be broken soon. Once it was broken, Fengyun would definitely not let it go. If he went out, it might attract the attention of the three realms' powerhouses, and they would fight for it. However, if he did not want the golden body, as long as he had the Celestial Emperor's Tao, then it would be much simpler. He could find a place to integrate, hide for a few years, and when he came out, he might be a heavenly king. Venerable Thunder was excited. While he was excited, he could not help but glance at Fengyun. At this moment, Taoist Fengyun was calm and collected. No one knew how angry he was inside. His identity was exposed. Fong Ping's identity being exposed was not a good thing for him. Next, the fight for the Celestial Emperor's golden body and Fong Ping's fight would enter a heated stage. If it was Ground Oddity and the others, they might not fight to the death previously, but now it was hard to say. Ground Fei had ruined his big plan. "Everyone, why aren't you stopping him?" Fong Ping roared again, blood spilling from his mouth. Ground Fei was really too crazy. The two of them were fighting under the cover of Tengu's chi. His injuries might be more serious than Fong Ping's, but Ground Fei did not care. He just wanted to kill him. Not only that, Fong Ping was a little helpless now. Ground Fei seemed to have a tendency to self-destruct. He wanted to blast Fong Ping to Tengu's side and self-destruct, triggering the Tengu's golden body's instinctive counterattack. This was an ability that all powerhouses had. Once they encountered an external attack, they would naturally counterattack. Tengu only had no vitality, but the golden body was still there, the vitality was still there, and the energy was still there. If he counterattacked passively, Fong Ping might really be killed. He had actually sensed something wrong with Ground Fei before, but he did not expect Ground Fei to attack at this moment. He felt that even if Ground Fei really knew, he would wait until after snatching the treasure or when he was injured. He did not expect this guy to attack now. "Who dares to stop me?" Ground Fei roared, his eyes blood-red. "Whoever stops me, I won't rest until I die." The other four people's eyes flickered. Ground Shi looked at the two venerable emperors, not saying a word, but his eyes flickered. What should he do? Kill? Not kill the fake Yun Xing. If his guess was right, then of course he had to kill Ground Fei. Yes, kill Ground Fei. At this moment, the few of them had the same thought. Kill Ground Fei. They could not let him continue fooling around. The bigger picture. As for what the bigger picture was, of course it was everyone's benefit, not Ground Fei's revenge. If Ground Fei did not die, there would be a lot of trouble. Thunder looked at Fengyun, and Fengyun looked at Ground Shi. They looked at each other. Very soon, Taoist Fengyun nodded slightly. Kill him. If Ground Fei did not die, he would keep looking for trouble. If he really killed Fong Ping, then the hope of stripping Heavenly Emperor's Tao would be gone. Unless they found the cat for help. Was it possible? If the cat knew that they wanted to strip Heavenly Dog's Tao, it would stab them to death. They reached a consensus almost instantly. Ground Fei could die, but Fong Ping could not. As for Ground Fei, he was on their side, and now he was avenging his son. That had nothing to do with them. Chapter 11:17. Rumble. The figure flew backward, blood spilling into the air. Why? Di Fei roared in grief and anger. He was attacked. Two venerable emperors attacked at the same time. No one spoke. Fong Ping was also trapped in the range of Tengu's aura, struggling to leave. Even if he was attacked by Di Fei, even if he felt that the cultists were all enemies, he could not help but feel a chill in his heart. This was a cult. Benefits, only benefits. Because Fong Ping was more important than Di Fei, they did not hesitate to attack Di Fei even though Fong Ping was an enemy and Di Fei was a comrade. In the air, Di Fei's blood splattered. Unwillingness, anger, sorrow. If there's a next life, I'll never be an immortal. Immortal. This was immortal. After the separation of human and immortal, Earth belonged to humans, and Di Fei and everyone else belonged to immortals. Today, this powerhouse who was proud of being an immortal regretted it. Immortal. This was immortal. As long as it didn't involve himself, he didn't think it was inappropriate for immortals to be heartless. But now Di Fei regretted it. His son was killed, and the person who killed his son was right in front of him. He was their enemy. He wanted to avenge his son, but none of his colleagues or his superiors helped him. It was fine if they did not help him, but they wanted to kill him, just because the enemy was more important than him and could bring them benefits. Di Fei's roar shook the sky. He knew he could not survive. Two venerable emperors attacked. Di Qi and Di Xing looked on coldly. He was already seriously injured by Tengu's aura, so he had no chance of survival. The Great Way is heartless, immortals are heartless, humans are a demon. In my next life, I'm willing to be a demon. Ah! A hearty laugh rang through heaven and earth. Son, I'm here. The three realms should be destroyed. Rumble! A deafening roar rang out. Before Di Fei died, he did not attack Fong Ping anymore. Instead, he combined all his strength and blasted the restrictions set by them. Even if he could not take revenge, even if he could not stop them, he wanted to create trouble for everyone. Rumble! Tengu's aura was suppressed. At this moment, the restriction was completely broken, and it counterattacked instantly. The stronger the suppression, the more powerful the counterattack. At this moment, Fong Ping's golden body erupted with dazzling rays of light, but it was still difficult to withstand. Even the ninth forging golden body could not withstand the Heavenly Hound's automatic counterattack, and the golden body continued to crumble. At this moment, Fong Ping could not care less anymore. The saint's token appeared and hung above his head, emitting a glow to protect him. The god-slaying saber appeared to block the pressure. Fong Ping quickly recovered his golden body too. Large amounts of imperishable substance gushed out. Even so, his flesh was still torn apart. The others, including the two venerable sovereigns, all retreated at this moment. As weak as Earth Xing, his flesh and blood almost instantly disappeared, leaving only his bones behind. Qi Qi was not in a good state either. His flesh and blood were sliced away layer by layer. However, no one cared about this at the moment. They were all looking at Fong Ping. Venerable Emperor Thunder was pleasantly surprised and shocked. It was really Fong Ping. Ground Wonder sighed softly too. It was Fong Ping indeed. Fong Ping had snuck into the celestial court long ago. No wonder so many powerhouses had fallen in the past 2 days. As long as Fong Ping was around, there was never a time when no one would die. Di Xing's flesh and blood dissipated. His expression could not be seen, but at this moment, the skeleton's eyes also burst with dazzling divine light, looking at Fong Ping. Fong Ping really came. No one cared about Di Fei, who had self-destructed. Even at the last moment, Di Fei's tone was so unwilling and so miserable. But so what? The great Tao was heartless. This was not the past. Back then, these cultivators still had feelings for each other. But 8,000 years had passed. The celestial realm had been destroyed for 8,000 years. They were almost at the end of their lives. They had been powerful for a lifetime, cultivated for 10,000 years, and now they were about to reach the end of their lives. Who would be willing? They had gone crazy long ago. These powerhouses who were about to reach the end of their lives, except for a few, most of them had gone crazy. 8,000 years. 8,000 years had passed. The great Tao was blocked. There was no hope at all. What else could they do? Heaven and earth roared again. Outside the Earth King Hall, blood rained down. Defei had fallen. Wu Wu, at this moment, in the small world where the celestial court was located, there were even some mournful sobs. Too many powerhouses had died in 2 consecutive days. The great Tao had collapsed. Heaven and earth were dyed blood red. At this moment, in the celestial court, everyone was nervous, sad, uneasy, and terrified. Another one had died. The true gods who were usually like gods were now falling one after another. When Fang Ping came, there were 3 emperors and 9 gods. Before Fang Ping left, there were 2 emperors and 2 gods. How many people could survive today? In the area where the small world was, the Forbidden Sea. At this moment, the sky above the sea was also blood red. Many people had died. For heaven and earth, yesterday and today were not far apart. In the blink of an eye, the powerhouses who had fallen in 2 days could even be considered to have died at the same time. A venerable emperor and 7 true gods had died at the same time. At this moment, even the outside world was greatly affected. The void was reflected. The sky was falling and the earth was cracking. Blood rain was dripping in the outside world. The blood cloud covered a radius of 100 miles. The next moment, several figures appeared. The crazy old man, who was also Ming Ting's true lord, appeared here in an instant. His eyes were solemn. How many people had died? Who was fighting? Where was it fighting? The celestial tomb? Would the dead people in the celestial tomb be reflected in the outside world? He did not know. Or the divine sect? But the divine sect was invincible in the 3 realms. How could so many powerhouses have died? He was a little frightened and uneasy. Since the powerhouses had left and entered the celestial tomb, not only did the 3 realms not stabilize, but there were more and more death. Powerhouses were dying one after another. That day, many true gods had died in the outer realm. Today, many more true gods had died. No, maybe there were even emperors. He seemed to have seen the sky fall and the earth crack. There was a big movement yesterday. Maybe the venerable emperor had died. How long had it been? It seemed that it had only been a month since the powerhouses entered the celestial tomb. Yes, it had only been a month. On March 23rd, Fang Ping launched a war in the outer realm, annihilating the 3 major realms. Fang Ping returned, recuperated for a few days, and entered the Forbidden Sea. Today, April 1st, it had been exactly a month since the powerhouses entered the celestial tomb. However, in this month, the world had been turned upside down. Perhaps even Zhang Tao, who had made the plan in the beginning, could not believe that not long after they entered the celestial tomb, Fang Ping had set off a storm of blood in the 3 realms. According to Zhang Tao's plan, they were prepared to trap the other party for a year or 2. However, only a month had passed, and the 3 realms had lost a venerable emperor and more than 10 true god powerhouses. Soon after Ming Ting's true lord arrived, someone else arrived. No, the demons. King Kun came, King Crab came, and a few other ultimate darkness monsters also came. Not only that, but soon, someone else arrived. Boundless Mountain, Immortal Inquiry Island. These overseas Immortal Islands powerhouses also arrived one after another. After a while, a Grandmaster arrived. Not long after, Wanwu and Weiyu Mountain powerhouses arrived. It was not over yet. The powerhouses of the Catacombs' 4 majestic palaces also arrived. Below the blood clouds, many powerhouses had gathered. Most of the known powerhouses of the three realms were here. It was not just these people. At this moment, Wu Quishan, who had stopped far away, did not dare to approach this place, but he had also arrived. Everyone looked at him. Ming Ting's true lord said coldly, "Where is the human king?" Wu Quishan smiled and said, "The three realms are in turmoil. Naturally, the human king cannot leave the human race easily. I came to take a look at the situation. I heard that powerhouses are rushing here. Did someone die again?" As he said that, he looked at the sky full of blood rain and lamented, "How many powerhouses have died? What a sin! After living for so many years, they die just like that. This three realms, who knows how much blood rain will be seen in the future?" Everyone ignored him. Wu Quishan smiled and did not mind. He had just advanced and naturally had no right to say anything in front of these people. He was not Fang Ping. Fang Ping had the right to say that because he was too ferocious. He killed Earthly Zhou, Earthly Wisdom and the three major realms in succession. Otherwise, without such a battle record, others might not take him seriously. While everyone was still probing the void, a golden-horned demonic beast flew over and roared from afar, "My lord, the Bright Moon Island started a war without permission and created chaos in the Sea of Misery. They have been annihilated." Perfected Lord Ming Ting's mouth twitched slightly. Is the intelligence of the demon race so low? So what if they're destroyed? Can't you see that there are so many people here? Are you trying to cause trouble for me by coming to report at this time? If not for the fact that his subordinates were working and gathering information, he would have killed the Jiao right now. Indeed, the moment the Jiao said that, the true gods of Boundless Mountain, Immortal Seeking Island and the other places looked colder. How many of the overseas 33 immortal islands were left? Some forces that did not have a real god left behind to oversee them were almost annihilated. Now, another island was destroyed. This time, the departure of the powerhouses was a feast for the demons of Embittered Sea. The Jiao was also a glib talker. Coupled with perfected Lord Ming Ting's presence, many demons were bewitched by it. The demons under King Kuan might not even be as many as the Jiao commanded. Tens of thousands of demon clan, regardless of the cost, forcibly attacked some immortal islands that had no experts presiding over them. Under the circumstances of heavy losses, several immortal islands had already been destroyed in these days. The Jiao did not come over. After reporting, it stood there and waited, as if waiting for the next instruction. Perfected Lord Ming Ting ignored it as well. He was in a bad mood and did not really like this stupid demon. Not far away, Wu Quishan's brow twitched. Jiao? The guy that Fang Ping called Demon Traitor was here too. Since Fang Ping was rank 3, he had known this guy. Back then, this guy had only just entered rank 8. What about now? Right now, he felt that he was only one step away from the peak. This guy was the Demon King of the 7 Southern region. Conferred by humans. He even lived in Magic City for a period of time. No matter how he looked at it, he did not look like a good demon. Wherever he went, he would be unlucky. No, wherever the demons were unlucky. That was not right. The guys on its side would be unlucky. Just like Fang Ping, they would be a disaster wherever they went. After not seeing him for a few days, he thought that the Jiao was dead. Now, not only was it not dead, it actually came to harm the Forbidden Sea. Wu Quishan thought in his heart and did not speak. At this moment, he was thinking whether this blood cloud had anything to do with Fang Ping. Fang Ping went to the Forbidden Sea and mentioned it to him, but he did not say the details. However, Fang Ping had only left for less than 2 days. The 3 realms were in chaos and the blood cloud appeared above the Forbidden Sea. He would not believe that this had nothing to do with Fang Ping. Everyone, this blood cloud. Is it a reflection of the divine sect or the sky grave? At this moment, perfected Lord Ming Ting did not care about the Jiao and asked. Everyone looked at each other. Soon, someone said, it should not be a reflection of the sky grave. Previously, there were true gods who died in the sky grave. Presumably, all parties have some clues. Which forces true god died, there are more or less some clues. There was no blood cloud before. As for the divine sect, everyone does not know much. I think it is very likely that it is a reflection of the divine sect. This place may be where the divine sect's headquarters is located. Someone nodded. This was true. Previously, there were people who died in the sky grave. Although everyone did not report it, they knew in their hearts that there were too many powerhouses there. There were many people who died in battle. However, there were no changes before, but now there were. Obviously, it had nothing to do with the sky grave. The small world where the sky grave was located was even more powerful. There was also a divine artifact sealing the door. It was very difficult to reflect it. Unless a saint or even a heavenly king powerhouse had fallen, it was as difficult as ascending to heaven to want to reflect it. Divine sect. Everyone had a strange look in their eyes. Was the divine sect hidden in the void nearby? If so, should they attack the divine sect this time to take a look? Perfected Lord Ming Ting looked at Wu Quishan again and said in a low voice, "Let the human king come here quickly to discuss important matters." If Fang Ping did not come, there might not be any benefits even if they attacked. Moreover, they did not want to be taken advantage of by humans. At this moment, King Huai, who was hiding in the void, sneered. Human king? Blood clouds appeared in this place. Something has happened to the divine sect. It may have nothing to do with Fang Ping. Maybe he has already killed his way into the divine sect and wants to take all the benefits for himself. King Huai, you can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. Wu Quishan said lightly, if humans really had this kind of strength, they would be able to suppress the evil sect alone. They would have killed you a long time ago. Why are you making sarcastic remarks here? You are a slave of 3 families. Don't pour black water on me. Speaking of which, are you really Life King's man? Previously, when Heaven's Destiny Royal Court was in such a big mess, I didn't see you do anything. You should be considered a slave of 4 families now, right? As soon as he said this, King Huai's face became extremely gloomy. Everyone did not say anything. It was really hard to say who King Huai belonged to. Previously, in the battlefield of kings, he had betrayed Li Zhu and sided with Life King. In the end, when Heaven's Destiny Royal Court was in trouble, he did not say a word. What was going on with this guy, no one knew. Wu Quishan said sarcastically, then laughed and said, King Huai, let's not talk about this. I am a little curious, is the Maple King dead? You 2 traitors, betraying one today, betraying the other tomorrow. You really have lived long enough. On Maple King's side, does anyone know if he is dead or alive? King Huai snorted coldly and ignored him. How would he know if the Maple King was dead or not? The Maple King had followed the 2 kings into the heavenly cemetery. The Feng family members were either dead or crippled. The Maple King might not have left his life plate in the outside world. King Huai did not answer but continued the previous topic. Then you ask Fang Ping to come here. If Fang Ping doesn't come, I have reason to suspect that he has entered the divine sect and taken all the benefits for himself. Everyone, why don't we join forces to take down the Snake King now to prevent him from meeting up with Fang Ping? This guy was also a troublemaker. Many of the wars between the catacombs and humans were started by him. However, this kind of person was not stupid. He knew that once the war started, it was very likely that he would be the first to die. Often, after stirring up a storm, he would quickly leave and not linger in the fight. In this way, he had survived until now. While everyone was talking, someone else came. A stranger. When this person came, Perfected Lord Ming Ting's eyes revealed a strange look. Who was this person? He could not sense his aura clearly. He felt like a true god, but not quite. The others did not know him either. He was a very strange person. Perfected Lord Ming Ting fell into deep thought. It felt a little familiar, but it should be very, very far away. He was also an old-times level figure. His lifespan was about to run out. He had become a true god long before the heavenly court had fallen. Now he was not far from emperor, but his lifespan was about to run out. He felt that it was very far away. It was probably really very far away. The person who came was wearing a long robe, a golden robe. His face was slightly pale. He looked very young, but his eyes were extremely old. Ignoring Ming Ting and the others, this person raised his head and looked at the blood clouds, then looked around, as if he was checking the divine sex entrance. The others frowned, still trying to determine something. However, very soon they did not have time to determine anything. At this moment, a figure cut through the void at an extremely fast speed. From afar, a wretched old man appeared. Then, he saw the man in the golden robe and screamed, "Oh my God, another one! I can't stay in the three realms anymore." The moment he said that, he tore through the void and fled. The man in the golden robe frowned slightly and said indifferently, "Cat tree, interesting." As he said that, the void shattered and a woman in splendid clothes appeared. She glanced at the man in the golden robe and harumphed softly before continuing to chase after the cat tree. When the man saw that, he chuckled. "Fairy Yu Wei, it's been many years. Are you leaving just like that? I don't have time to catch up with you. The cat tree belongs to me. If you dare interfere, I won't let you off." Although the woman left, her voice could still be heard. "Cat tree, the cat tree isn't yours." The man swept the void once more and seemed to have spotted the entrance. However, he could vaguely sense danger and did not enter. He stepped on the air and shattered the void, smiling. "What a pleasant surprise. I've just woken up and I've already encountered the cat tree. This source is empty and I need some nourishment. Let's go together." He tore through the void. However, in the distance, someone cursed out loud, "Nourishment? You guys are bullying me. I have a backer supporting me. Emperor Sky is still around. Try eating me if you dare. I'm warning you, don't mess around." "Stop chasing." "Still chasing? Do you guys know that Prince Yu has also awakened? We were just chatting happily 2 days ago. If you keep chasing, I'll call for help." "Again? So what if you were a saint back then? Now that you've just awakened, you're at most at the overlord level." "What's an overlord level?" "Back then, when overlords came to the cat palace, they were just servants. Get lost. Stop chasing. If you keep chasing, I'll really call for help. Emperor Sky, save me. Someone wants to eat me. Emperor Sky, where are you? Come and save me. I've saved a lot of fruits over the years, waiting for you to eat them. If you don't come, they'll all be eaten." The cat tree howled mournfully. Today was really unlucky. First, it encountered Fairy Yu Wei of the North Emperor's faction. Then, it turned around and encountered the Realm Gate Marshal of the Human Emperor's faction. Were the people of the 9 emperors all going to awaken? The cat tree frantically fled. It was a treasure. No, a treasure tree. The cat tree was a famous treasure tree in the 3 realms. The cat fruits it bore could repair the source world. For experts who had just awakened, it was more effective than any treasure. Few experts could directly recover to their peak after awakening unless they had made preparations back then. However, most of them were clearly accidental recoveries. Under such circumstances, the cat tree's appearance would naturally attract the attention of those people. As for the cat, where was the cat? The cat tree ran away. In the crowd, on Mount Wangwu's side, Qing Hua's expression changed. She could not help but whisper, "Sage Yu Wei." The moment she said that, everyone looked towards her. Perfected Lord Ming Ting raised his brows slightly. Soon, he said darkly, "Sage Yu Wei, that golden-robed Realm Gate Marshal Yuan Gang?" Qing Hua remained silent. Ling Xiao, who had already recovered to her peak strength, revealed a joyful expression. Sage Yue, she seemed to have heard her master mention before that he was an expert under the North Emperor's faction. The 36 sages were the official positions of the Heavenly Court. They were appointed by the Heavenly Courts and commanded the Heavenly Realm's army. However, when the Emperor preached the Tao back then, there were also some disciples. Not only that, the Emperor had his own system as well. The Human Emperor governed the human world, while the Earth Emperor governed the Earth realm. The fact that these people could govern a world represented their strength. Even among the emperors, they were slightly stronger. Even if they were in charge of a world in name, they had their own team. Back then, there were realm gates between the human domain and the Earth domain that were guarded by experts. They did not allow experts from the human domain to enter the human domain or the heaven and the Earth domain to enter the human domain. This was what these emperors were doing. The golden-robed man was the realm gate marshal who guarded one of the realm gates back then. Everyone was surprised and shocked that these people had appeared. Those who knew them had grim expressions at that moment. What was going on with the three realms? As for Ling Xiao, she quickly sent a voice transmission to Qing Hua. Uncle Master, Sage Yue has revived. Then, Arwangu. Don't contact her without permission. Qing Hua was not as optimistic and said quickly, these people have revived. His Majesty North Emperor is dead and Her Highness is not around. Nobody knows what they are thinking. Don't let your guard down. Sage Yue is His Majesty's disciple, but now, 8,000 years have passed, and the world has changed. Will she still be the same as before? Ling Zhao's expression changed slightly. That was true. Would someone who had died once continue to be the same as before? It was fine if Moon Spirit was here, but if she wasn't, no one would be able to suppress her. For a moment, everyone had a myriad of thoughts. Some had a headache, some felt helpless, and some secretly had some thoughts. Since an expert had appeared in the three realms once again, the current situation might change. Divine Sect, Overseas, Earth Realm, the human world. Previously, they could be roughly divided into 4 forces, but now there might be a chance for a few more forces to appear. Star Town. In the small world. The God Creation Envoy continued to flip through the book in his hand and said impatiently, "Why are you here again? Someone has revived." "None of my business." The God Creation Envoy said impatiently, "Hurry up and scram. This old man has already figured out how to cut the human body into millions of pieces, and then recombine them. Perhaps I can forge a beginner martial jade body. Don't bother me, or I will use the jade body to destroy you." With that said, countless God Creation envoys suddenly appeared in the small world. Some were reading, some were practicing martial arts, some were sparring, some were cursing in the street at the entrance to the world. The shadow trembled slightly. Are you really going to succeed? He had thought that this old fellow was just casually talking about it, but who knew that he would actually succeed? Not yet. Almost. I keep feeling like there's something missing. Send me some more books. Besides, after I open them, they won't be original and won't be solid enough. This old man is considering whether or not I should forge my golden body into a divine artifact embryo. The God Creation Envoy's words made the shadow speechless. What great boldness! Was he going to forge a divine artifact with his own body? After thinking for a while, the shadow said, "You will come out sooner or later. The experts of the 3 realms have begun to recover, and those who should appear will appear. You are the main participant in the Immortal Origin project, so even if you don't want to leave the mountain, there will still be people who will force you to leave the mountain." As he spoke, he added, "You know how to forge divine artifacts, and you are the only expert in the 3 realms who can forge divine artifacts. Once the chaos arrives, divine artifacts will definitely be the target of all the experts. You won't be able to avoid it." The God Creation Envoy said impatiently, "Scram. This old man is a prisoner suppressed by Li Xuanxia. Let me go out of the mountain and kill Li Xuanxia. Before I kill him, stop talking nonsense. The shadow was silent. After a while, he suddenly said, God creation envoy in this 3 realms. Who is the strongest? Who is the strongest? The God creation envoy seemed to be interested as well. After a moment of silence, he laughed and said, in the past, of course it was the 9 emperors and 4 emperors, but now, it's hard to say. I'm afraid there are still a few who are still alive or have recovered. If you haven't broken through 8, then don't have any ideas about this old man. Break 8, with a murmur, the shadow dissipated. After he left, the God creation envoy snorted, so what if you break 8? Just you wait for this old man to create 108,000 clones and block the great Tao. I'll let you guys lose your source energy and see if you guys can still be so arrogant. No, this old man's clone isn't strong enough. Forge 108,000 divine artifacts? There's no material. How about kill 108,000 experts and stuff them into the great Tao to block the way? How annoying, the 9 emperors are unreliable. Back then, we might as well block the great Tao from the source. These fellows who rely on the source, won't they all cry? The old man muttered a few words, shook his head, and continued reading. Forget it, isn't Li Xuanxia still here? I am a prisoner now, if you have the ability, kill Li Xuanxia first. In the next moment, the old man's body trembled slightly, and he muttered, Troubled times, who has awakened again? This old man can sense it even after lighting up the origin world. Looks like something is really going to happen. Chapter 11:18. An expert had awakened. It lit up the source world. At this moment there were quite a few people who could sense it. This was a true awakening, and also the strongest powerhouse currently awakening, the Heavenly King stage. A Heavenly King stage powerhouse. In the 1,000 Spirit Hall. Di Fei was dead. Fang Ping and the others were still resisting the outburst of qi. However, in the next moment their hearts shook. Even Fang Ping could sense it now. It was very weak. But there was. He seemed to see the source world shaking. In the sky above the source world, a star flashed. Who is it? At that moment, Dao Bing Wind and Cloud was shocked and even terrified. He immediately turned to look at Tengu. Was it Tengu? If the Heavenly Hound were to revive, it would be a disaster. Fortunately, after a while, Taoist Fengyun heaved a sigh of relief. It didn't seem to be the Heavenly Hound. As for Fang Ping, he did not have the time to look at the Heavenly Hound now. He was about to be crushed. The Heavenly Hound's qi activity was really powerful, so powerful that he felt a little helpless. However, at the same time when the stars flashed, Tengu's qi activity seemed to fluctuate a little. Fang Ping managed to struggle out, his face covered in golden blood. Someone has awakened. At this moment, the Thunder Overlord was also frowning. Quintessence turbulence. Is this a Heavenly King powerhouse? It should be. Emperor Thunderbolt said in a low voice, a Heavenly King has awakened. I wonder if he's one of the 8 kings or a disciple of an emperor. Are there any Heavenly King stage powerhouses amongst the Emperor's followers? Thunder Sovereign didn't know much about this, so he couldn't help but ask. Taoist Fengyun thought for a moment and said, I'm not sure. Even if there was, it would be before the 8 kings. When the 8 kings were conferred, it was said that almost all the Heavenly King stage powerhouses showed up. He wasn't too clear about these things, as he hadn't experienced the era of the 8 kings. At this moment, he suddenly looked at Fang Ping, no longer concerned about who would revive. Thunder and the others also looked at him. Di Qi said with a faint smile, Fang Ping? How audacious! He actually managed to enter the divine court. Fang Ping glanced at them. Panting, he smiled. If I told you I'm not Fang Ping, would you believe me? Everyone looked at him, but no one said anything. This is not funny. You've already taken out your god-slaying saber and you're still saying that you're not Fang Ping? Do you really think that everyone is blind? Fong Ping avoided them slightly and sighed. Then, if I say that I came here this time just to admire the scenery here, you guys won't believe me, right? Venerable Emperor Thunder said coldly. Fong Ping, at this point, saying these things isn't funny. It will only make people look down on you. That's true. Fong Ping smiled. He straightened his back and smiled faintly. It's me. As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping restored his true appearance. I've been calling for my father for a couple of days, and I've killed a venerable sovereign and a few true gods. I feel like I've suffered a loss. Emperor Thunder's aura erupted, pressuring Fong Ping, his eyes cold and fierce. Fong Ping, do you think that no one can kill you? Or no one dares to kill you? Fong Ping was too flamboyant. The first thing he did after recovering his true form was to provoke them. Fong Ping's golden body erupted, laughing. That won't be the case. With two venerable sovereigns here, I might not even be able to defeat Di Qi, let alone venerable sovereigns. No, we have to include Di Xing. Di Xing probably gained a lot of benefits in the origin realm, right? Fong Ping smiled playfully and said, if you want to kill me, of course it's easy. But why is there a need to fight and kill? You guys haven't made a move yet, and even killed Di Fei. I'm sure everyone knows why. Everyone was silent. Fong Ping glanced at Heavenly Hound's golden body. This time, he did not go closer. He said softly, guys, let's not beat around the bush. I have the ability to strip away Daos. Seeing that his identity had been exposed, Daoist Fengyun was no longer conflicted. He chuckled. Since there aren't many left alive, Fong Ping, if you want to live, then start working. Otherwise, Fong Ping pressed his hands together, looking unhurried. He chuckled. Celestial Emperor is different from others. He's a powerhouse. He's not that simple. Also, whether Celestial Emperor is alive or dead, it's hard to say now. To be honest, I'm definitely wary of powerhouses like this. So, if you really want to use me, you have to first confirm that Celestial Emperor is dead, and then Daos are still there. What do you want? I don't want to, Fong Ping said calmly. Peel off the Celestial Emperor's skin and bones first. Just leave his brain and heart cores. As he said this, he suddenly felt a chill in his heart. What's wrong with me? Why did he suddenly have a bad feeling, as if a great disaster was imminent? Fong Ping's heart trembled. This sense of crisis made him feel as if his origin world was about to freeze. What was going on? Could it be that the Heavenly Hound was still alive? The old cat had said that if the Heavenly Hound's corpse was present, it was highly likely that the Heavenly Hound was not dead. However, until now, Fong Ping had not sensed that the Heavenly Hound was still alive. Also, who was the expert who had just awakened? Could it be the Ash Cat's captain protecting the cat? It shouldn't be the Heavenly Hound. He tried to sense it, but the Heavenly Hound didn't seem to be moving. At this moment, Fong Ping could not help but glance at the Tengu from the corner of his eyes. Could it be that the Tengu was still alive? Speaking of skinning and dismantling, he actually felt an incomparably great danger, as if he was going to die in the next moment. Fong Ping stared at the golden body of the heavenly dog for a while, but he did not notice any changes. Was he thinking too much? Or could it be that the Heavenly Hound had not actually awakened yet, but it was still alive, able to hear what he said but unable to respond? The Heavenly Hound had stayed in the Earth King's Hall for 3,000 years. Fong Ping suspected that the Heavenly Hound was really too badly injured and had no choice but to hibernate. Otherwise, based on the personality of the Heavenly Hound mentioned by the Ash Cat and the others, it was impossible for it to stand here and let people study it for 3,000 years. This was not in line with the Heavenly Hound's domineering personality. During the Battle of the Heavenly Cemetery back then, the Heavenly Hound might have really been annihilated. Its corpse was taken away. All these years, it has been looking for a chance to resurrect? And now, or it might be resurrected? Fong Ping guessed in his heart. Now that many people were resurrecting, it was not impossible for the heavenly hound to resurrect at this time. Fong Ping dared not talk nonsense anymore. He was afraid that the heavenly hound would really come back to life later and swallow him in one bite. This dog had really eaten powerhouses before. When that time came, even if he had a lot to say, it would be too late. When Fong Ping thought of this, he suddenly said, "There's one more thing. Although my relationship with Old Cat is very good, and Old Cat has also taught me these things, but if I say this in advance, I might not be able to do it. Celestial Emperor is too powerful. Old Cat knows a lot of things, but not everyone can learn anything. I haven't learned much either. Old Cat and Celestial Emperor are still brothers. When Celestial Emperor is mentioned, he often washes his face with tears. If this matter of mine were to spread, Old Cat would definitely come after me to settle the score." So, everyone looked at him, frowning. Why did this guy have so much nonsense to say? At this juncture, he was trying to change the topic. What was he trying to say? Fong Ping continued, "So, you guys should first confirm whether Celestial Emperor has really fallen, then I can make the next arrangements. If Celestial Emperor is still alive, do I need to make any deals with you guys?" Fong Ping said with a disdainful look, "If Celestial Emperor is really alive, I'm Old Cat's brother, so I'm Celestial Emperor's brother too. Just let Celestial Emperor do it. He can just kill all of you with one slap. Am I right?" Everyone was speechless. This guy was still threatening them at this time. But they had to admit that it made some sense. If Celestial Emperor was really not dead, then it would be none of their business. Taoist Fengyun smiled faintly. Celestial Emperor has most likely fallen. Otherwise, sect leader wouldn't have placed Celestial Emperor here for 3,000 years. Even if he isn't, I'm afraid he won't be able to revive. Leaving behind a last chance of survival is no different from falling. Thunder Venerable Emperor also nodded slightly, then said somewhat impatiently, "Fong Ping, cut the crap. Since you dared to come, then do it. Otherwise, don't be impatient." Fong Ping touched the sweat on his forehead. This time, Thunder and the others were surprised. "You're a king of man, how can you be so timid?" Fong Ping could not help but wipe his sweat. He felt that Tengu might really be alive. Just now, he had been paying attention to Tengu from the corner of his eye. He seemed to have noticed that Tengu's mouth had closed slightly. Very little. The extent of closing was almost invisible. But he had been observing. Fong Ping felt that he was not mistaken. Tengu had really closed its mouth a little. Fong Ping swallowed. At this moment, his mentality fluctuated and went straight to Tengu. But as soon as his mentality reached it, it was shattered. Fong Ping was helpless. He could not even communicate with this. Was this guy alive or dead? Forget it. Fong Ping said hurriedly, "All right, cut the crap. Seal Celestial Emperor's chi first. He's too powerful. If this goes on, we'll be worn down to death. I don't care which one of you got the Celestial Emperor golden body. If you're stronger than me, then I'll make a move. If you're weaker than me, for example, earthly god, then don't even think about it. Who wins depends on the situation. Everyone here is smart and capable. If you can prevent me from escaping, then of course I won't die. But if you can't do it, then don't blame me for not keeping my promise. There's no such thing as a promise." Although this sounded harsh, it was also the truth. Without strength, how could Fong Ping possibly be obedient? However, at this moment, Earthly Oddity suddenly said, "Fong Ping is very cunning. Sirs, why don't you cripple him first? When it's time to use him, then let him recover. Otherwise, this kind of person will not be willing to be used by us." As soon as this was said, the few of them were ready to move. If they did not cripple Fong Ping, they would not be at ease. At most, when it was time to use him, they would help him recover. When powerhouses reach this stage, they would not die so easily. That won't be necessary, right? Fong Ping said with a smile. If I really don't have strength, when you guys snatch the Celestial Emperor golden body later, you'll definitely fight it out. If this affects me and kills me, then I'll feel so wronged. Also, you guys better pray. I keep feeling that Celestial Emperor is still alive. Celestial Emperor is so powerful. Brother Cat often said that Celestial Emperor dared to fight the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors back then. How could he die so easily? I have to save some strength and be prepared not to be affected. As Fong Ping said this, he looked at Heavenly Hound again. There was more sweat on his forehead. This dog's mouth seemed to have closed a little more than before. Was he really alive? Big Cat, oh Big Cat, I've already gotten involved with you. I won't be eaten, right? As he said this, the others also looked at Heavenly Hound, frowning. Was Fong Ping trying to scare them? If Celestial Emperor was not dead, he would have swallowed them long ago. Why would he give them the chance to snatch the golden body here? Taoist Fengyun frowned. Then, he said quickly, Fong Ping, you don't have to say these things anymore. If you don't want to be crippled, then work together. Don't even think about escaping this place. Seal the Celestial Emperor golden body together. Sir, why don't we let him hand over the God-slaying saber and Saint Token first? At this moment, Ground Fiend spoke up. He said with a faint smile, he has the God-slaying saber and the ability to slash daggers. I'm afraid the deaths of Dark Earth and a few others were also caused by him. When we seal the Celestial Emperor golden body, we have to be careful of him suddenly plotting against us. Taoist Fengyun's eyes flickered, looking at Fong Ping. Indeed. Fong Ping, I won't cripple you. Hand over the God-slaying saber and Saint Token. A divine weapon and a sacred weapon. These were all treasures. If he had the divine weapon in hand, he also had the ability to slash daggers. If he fought against same-ranked opponents, he would have a great advantage. Once he entered the origin space to fight, the advantage would be even more obvious. Are you sure? Fong Ping said, the God-slaying saber isn't mine. It's Cat's. Cat lent it to me to use. Whoever takes it will be unlucky. Cat can't do anything to you now. It has no backing, no backing. After the Celestial Emperor fell, anyone can bully it and want to kill it. It has no one to rely on. Everyone frowned again. What was he trying to say? Was he stalling for time? Fong Ping ignored them and continued, but there will always be a time to settle accounts. Now that you've bullied Cat like this, aren't you afraid that one day, the Celestial Emperor or others will come back and settle accounts with you? Also, the God-slaying saber is Cat's. That means it belongs to the Celestial Emperor. Are you trying to snatch Celestial Emperor's things? Enough. Venerable Emperor Thunder shouted angrily, shut up. Who do you want to tell? Tell Celestial Emperor? Dream on. Celestial Emperor died a long time ago. If he's not dead, do you think you can still get close to this place? Idiot. Hand over the God-slaying saber and Saint Token, or we'll come and take it ourselves. Fong Ping glanced at the Heavenly Hound again. It did not seem to have changed much. Fong Ping was about to retract his gaze when he was shocked. He had been looking at the Heavenly Hound's mouth, head, body. He had not looked at the Heavenly Hound's eyes. The Heavenly Hound's eyes were terrifying. One look in Fong Ping's own eyes felt like they were going to explode. However, at this moment, Fong Ping seemed to have seen something in his peripheral vision. Fong Ping endured the pain and glanced at it again. This time, he was sure that he had really seen something. At this moment, in those huge eyes, a cold glint flashed and a figure disappeared in a flash. Venerable Emperor Thunder. Its eyes were actually reflecting the Venerable Emperor Thunder. Fong Ping closed his eyes immediately, hiding the scene of his eyeball exploding. At this moment, Fong Ping seemed to be hesitating, but he quickly roared in his mind, Big Cat, come out. The Heavenly Hound is alive. It's really alive. It looks like it wants to eat me. Come out quickly. Magic City. The cat looked up at the sky. Beside him, Fong Yuan was brushing its fur again. The cat sighed suddenly. Humans and demons, there's nothing good about them. What's wrong? Fong Yuan looked curious. This cat could be so sentimental? The cat said mournfully, Your family is a liar. When you're in danger, you call for me for help. When there's no danger, you're free and unfettered. The tree that I planted is the same. It's been running for thousands of years. Usually, it doesn't think about me. Today, it's thinking about me with all its might because someone wants to eat it. The cat was so sad. These people were so realistic. Forget about the liar. Cat trees were really annoying. Usually, it did not dare to think about itself. Today, it was endless. It kept thinking about it. Someone wanted to eat it. Help, quick. The cat really wanted to poke it to death. When I was hungry, I missed you. Why didn't you send me food? Fong Yuan's little face turned round with laughter. Yes, they're all bad people. I'm different. Big cat, why don't you let me become a great emperor? I'll help you beat up the bad guys in the future. The cat rolled its eyes. None of them were good. It could not be bothered with Fong Yuan. Was the big dog really alive? The cat was a little surprised. Was it for real? Was there really a big dog hidden in Hong Kuen's house? Hong Kuen was too bold. How dare he hide a big dog in his house? Did he still want his house? In the next moment, the cat appeared in Fong Ping's mind. The big dog really came back to life? It's true. Fong Ping said hurriedly, Can you see it? It's right beside me. I can't see it. This is a phone call, not a video call. The cat was disdainful. They were just talking on the phone, not a video call. How could I see it? Fong Ping did not waste any more words. In an instant, he outlined the heavenly hound's appearance in his mind. The cat stared at it for a while, scratching its head with its claws. It looks a little like a big dog. The big dog really didn't die. You don't seem too excited. Fong Ping had a bad feeling about this. The cat said indifferently, No, I'm very happy. But when the big dog left that year, it said that I lied to it many times, causing it to be beaten up often. The next time it comes back, it will definitely beat me up. Now, I'm thinking if I should find a place to hide. Fong Ping felt terrible all over. What did it mean? Was the heavenly hound going crazy because of being the scapegoat? Was it going to beat this cat to death? Fong Ping had just used the cat to pull some strings for a long time. Would he be caught in the crossfire? Don't worry, don't worry. The cat said carelessly, It's okay. The big dog will bite you at most. It might not kill you. But I don't think I sense the big dog's recovery. But I think I sense the big bad guy you were talking about coming back to life just now. I hope it's not at your place, or else. You're going to be in trouble. Fong Ping said hurriedly, It can't be. Who knows? The cat was very irresponsible, saying casually, The big dog is at his house now, and he's been beaten by the big dog for many years. If he sees the big dog, he'll definitely explode. Run. Liar, run quickly. Run as far as you can. If they fight, they won't care about you. They won't care about anyone else when they fight. If you're killed casually, there's nothing you can do. Brother cat, I can't run. There are 2 venerable emperors watching me. Come and pick me up. I'm not going. I can't fly. I'm so hungry. The cat was extremely irresponsible, muttering, I'm a cat, not a human. Humans are the ones who pick people up. Cats stay at home and wait for food. Which cat goes out to pick people up? Fong Ping was so depressed he was about to vomit blood. You're a cat now? When you eat, you don't look like a cat. You look like a pig. No, even a pig can't eat as much as you. You scolded me. The cat felt wronged. A liar scolded him. Without giving Fong Ping a chance to speak, the cat disappeared in the next moment. Before leaving, he said, If both of them come out, don't try to pull strings. Otherwise, the other one will beat you to death. If that doesn't work, just say you're the child of a spirit emperor's relative and a puppy. The cat disappeared. Fong Ping did not come out no matter how much he shouted. Fong Ping almost vomited blood. What did he say? That he was the descendant of a puppy and a spirit emperor's relative? Are you sure it's reliable? Are you sure a descendant of the heavenly dog could have a descendant of a spirit emperor's relative? The spring guardian and the heavenly dog are actually going to revive. No, the spring guardian has already revived. Don't tell me he's here too? At this moment, Fong Ping was trembling with fear. Two heavenly king powerhouses. He had seen the heavenly kings fighting before. No, he had only seen the heavenly king Garrison and King Sun fighting in the space rift. He had not seen the specific battle. He did not know how these people fought and how big the repercussions were. However, he remembered that the heavenly king Garrison casually grabbed a true god that day and threw him out. Then there was no then. That guy was so unlucky that he was blown up. There was no need to mention how tragic his death was. In just a short while, they did not even fight with all their might. In the end, a true god died just like that. If the heavenly dog and the spring guardian were to fight, would he not be blown up if he was slightly affected? He was still thinking about this when Thunder was already extremely impatient. He shouted, "Fong Ping, don't think about getting lucky. Quickly hand over the divine weapon and the saint's token." At this moment, the basilica seemed to tremble slightly. Fong Ping's expression was ugly. Hand over? Hand over your sister. Trouble. Could it be that the spring guardian was here? He sensed it. The others also sensed it. Feng Yun and Thunder looked at the ground one after another, frowning slightly. What happened? At this moment, Fong Ping broke into a run. As he ran, he shouted, "I'm with you guys. I'm the descendant of Zi-Er's ancestor. I'm also the Heavenly Emperor's descendant friend." Fong Ping did not even dare to mention the cat. The Spring Guardian and the cat did not seem to be very friendly. The cat did not do anything after receiving the benefits. With a roar, Fong Ping fled frantically. It was over. Big trouble. At this moment, Thunder Overlord and Taoist Feng Yun were at a loss at first. They wanted to chase after Fong Ping, but in the next moment it turned into horror. Just as Fong Ping fled, heaven and earth trembled. An angry roar resounded through heaven and earth. "Heavenly dog, you bastard! I'll skin you alive this time. 300 years of humiliation, I'll return it today." At the same time, an aura that pierced through heaven and earth rose from nothing, filling the entire small world in an instant. All the energy in the entire small world surged toward this side in a frenzy. At this moment, 10,000 feet above Skywood Forest, King Kun cursed angrily, almost bursting with anger. This guy was actually still alive. Big trouble. Heavenly Wood also shuddered. This guy was actually still alive? He was an old neighbor. However, this guy was in a bad mood now. Would he be affected? No, at this moment, Heavenly Wood was stunned. He looked at King Kun's clone. "Heavenly Dog is alive?" King Kun seemed to know what it meant. He said coldly, "It's dead, but its golden body hasn't been destroyed. Maybe there's a chance of survival. Damn it, if no one stimulates it, it won't revive. This guy has revived. Powerhouses stimulated it, enemies stimulated it. He knew that Heavenly Dog was not completely dead. If it was completely dead, its golden body would probably be destroyed. However, he also knew that without absolute stimulation, Heavenly Dog could not revive. However, now an idiot was provoking Heavenly Dog. He wanted revenge. He wanted to destroy Heavenly Dog. It was over. King Kun's face was full of despair. It was really over. Damn it. If the main body did not return, something big would happen. Chapter 11:19. Boom. The sky was broken. Today it was truly earth-shattering. A top-notch expert from the ancient times had awakened. The divine city was collapsing. The furious roar resounded not only in the small world, but even the people in the outside world could vaguely hear it. At this moment they were all incomparably terrified. In the sky above the taboo sea, an illusory figure that resembled a real fiend god appeared. It pierced through the small world. It's him. In the distance, someone was shocked. The Spring Keeper has awakened. He's actually not dead. The Realm Gate Marshal who had left earlier exclaimed. The big shot had revived. No matter how the Ash Cat slandered him, a powerhouse who dared to compete with the Heavenly Dog and a powerhouse who dared to peep at the Spiritual Emperor were the real big shots. Beaten by the Heavenly Dog, beaten by the Spirit Emperor, deceived by the old cat, that was because of his ability. If you don't have the strength, you won't be able to touch this world. The Spring Watcher had awakened. At this moment, the entire three realms were in turmoil. Heavenly King Stage. This was already a ceiling. From the ancient times until now, there were only a few Heavenly King Stage powerhouses. Almost all the living Heavenly Kings came from the ancient times, except for the Demon Emperor. But the ancient Heavenly Kings also had qualifications. When the person guarding the spring became a Heavenly King, King Kuan had yet to become a Heavenly King. The 8 kings had not been conferred their titles yet. They were experts from the same era as the 3 envoys. Of course, this fellow was eventually forgotten by others, due to the passage of time, as well as the fact that he had been guarding the longevity spring. People had slowly forgotten that he was a Heavenly King Stage powerhouse. Coupled with the fact that the caretaker had always wanted revenge, he had always been studying his reciprocity realm, so he had no time to show off his strength. However, there were people who would never forget him. They had forgotten about this top-notch expert of the past. That guy has recovered. At this moment the others also sensed it in the fake heavenly grave. The Heavenly Kings had awakened. The source world was illuminated. This was the first Heavenly King to be revived, a true revival in the truest sense of the word. The other cat protectors had yet to be completely revived. As for Hong Yu, perhaps he had the combat power of a Heavenly King, but he was not a Heavenly King. Some things were more complicated. At this moment, even if King Kuan forced himself to remain calm, he could no longer remain calm. That fellow had just been resurrected not too long ago? It couldn't be in his own nest, right? If it was revived in the Divine City, it would be troublesome. King Kuan's face was extremely gloomy. At this moment, almost all the experts felt it. Within the source world, a great star that was as resplendent as a star was ignited. On the great star, an ancient fiend god revived, its radiance radiating in all directions, shaking the 3 realms. I'm back. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Tiango, that bastard, I will hack it to death sooner or later. Where was the Spirit Emperor? Who killed Emperor Ling? Who did it? At this moment, the god fiend in the source world was roaring angrily. At this moment, the weak couldn't hear any of this. In fact, their source world hadn't even condensed a godfiend projection. As for the powerhouses and emperors, almost all of them had condensed a fiend god projection. At this moment, there were fiend gods awakening on many stars that were as bright as stars. On a large golden planet, King Kuan's projection appeared. He looked into the distance without saying a word. Above a large red star, the phantom of the moon spirit appeared and frowned slightly. On a great white planet, King Qian crossed his arms and did not say anything. On another planet that was as blue as water, an enormous Kuan Ping phantom appeared. It was the sea-suppressing envoy. These large stars were extremely far away, so far that they could not be seen. Among these large stars, there were some stars of various sizes. Some were as small as glass balls, and some were as large as planets. The source world. The source world was the most unique. It was dreamy and illusory, with no end or size. Once one stepped out of the origin Tao, they would appear in the source world. Some stars were shattered, and some were dim. They seemed close, but without special means, they could never reach the other side. Just like the origin Tao, people who walked two paths would never meet on the origin Tao, unless they had reached the end. The Spring Guardian was furious because he saw the destruction of the Spirit Emperor's star. 10,000 years ago, in the source world, there were 13 stars that shone brightly. 10,000 years ago, there were 13 large stars that illuminated the entire source world. But today, they were gone. In the sky, there were no longer any large stars shining on the source world. No one spoke. The Spring Guardian's large star gradually became less dazzling. The moment it had awakened, it had reflected the entire source world. Now that it had awakened, it would gradually return to the right track. Next time, this fellow would not be able to continue shining on the source world. And at this moment, everyone looked into the distance. Over there seemed to be a burst of faint golden light. Woof! A low roar resounded throughout the source world. Woof woof! Ha ha! The three realms has no emperor, the three realms has no limit. Ha ha! Only the heavenly hound is invincible in the three realms. Bathtub keeper, you're alive, ha ha! Thank you for lending this king a helping hand. I'm alive. Hong Kuan, how dare you? Your father is alive and you're going to die. Ha ha! Devour. This devour was earth-shattering, and its aura swallowed thousands of miles. At this moment, a hurricane was set off in the source world. At this moment, only a huge mouth could be seen between heaven and earth, swallowing King Kuan on the large golden star from an unknown distance. At this moment, only the heavenly hound was left between heaven and earth. The boundlessly domineering heavenly hound. It wanted to devour King Kuan's large star in the source world and destroy his source world. On the large golden star, King Kuan did not say a word. He did not resist, nor did he attack. The heavenly hound wanted to devour him in the source world. However, King Kuan's expression was still ugly. The heavenly hound had revived. Half of his 8,000 years of plan had been destroyed. Perhaps it would all be destroyed soon. The divine court. He did not say anything about going back. The heavenly hound and the Spring Guardian might be waiting for him at the divine court. If he went back, with his current strength, he might be able to suppress these two guys who had just revived, but what about next? Could he kill these two guys? It would be very difficult. Coupled with the heavenly king subduing and the others, he might really be surrounded and killed. In the void, the huge mouth extended, swallowing the heavens and earth. King Kuan watched coldly and did not speak. The heavenly hound had also revived. But even if it had revived, so what? It was a pity that his plan was ruined. All these years, he had been trying to find the heavenly hound Great Tao and wanted to strip it of its Great Tao, but this guy had hidden it too well. He could not even find the gate of reflection. Now, it seemed that this guy had probably completely destroyed the Great Tao, leaving only a wisp of source chi, which was why he had hidden it so well. The huge dog's mouth was still extending in this direction. But gradually, it looked like it was going to dissipate. However, at this moment, a scene that no one expected happened. In the void, in the uninhabited source void, a big fat cat wandered in the source world, holding a huge fishing rod in its claws. It panted and said, "Big dog, long time no see. Don't hit me, I'm going to help you." As soon as it said that, a path suddenly appeared in front of the dog's mouth. The cat threw the fishing rod, and it turned into a path that directly connected to King Kuan's planet. Ah! The heavenly hound laughed wildly, and the big cat also chuckled. Under the heavens, cats and dogs are invincible. If I say I'll bite you, I'll bite you. At this moment, King Kuan's expression changed, and he roared. Like a reincarnated god, he punched out and heaven and earth shattered. But it was useless. The huge dog's mouth followed the path formed by the fishing rod and instantly arrived, swallowing him. "I'll swallow you." Crack, a faint sound was heard, and more than half of King Kuan's fist was directly swallowed. Then, the heavenly hound closed its mouth and used all its strength to bite down. Bang! The sound of an explosion was heard, and the godlike King Kuan lost an arm. The heavenly hound did not feel good either. Its huge mouth was broken, but it still laughed wildly. King Kuan's face was livid, and a lot of the source chi on his body overflowed. He said coldly, "You can be arrogant for now." The heavenly hound only had such an ability at this moment. It had recovered. At the moment of recovery, its source chi erupted, and it could roam in the source world. At other times it could not do so. "Ha ha ha, I'll bite you to death, you dog." "Bah, I'll bite you to death, you human," the heavenly hound laughed wildly. At this moment, in the nearby area, a figure suddenly flashed on a huge planet that was not as bright as them, but was also rapidly becoming stronger. A figure that looked like a demon king flashed and said with a smile, "He's not a human. The human clan will not accept him." The heavenly hound revealed a puzzled look, as if it had thought of something. It seemed to have seen this person before. It was the person that appeared behind the person in the main hall. The new person was none other than Zhang Tao. As soon as he appeared, many dazzling aurora-like gazes shot over from the void. King Wu. Was he going to transform? This was the domain of a heavenly king. But at this moment, King Wu actually appeared here. Of course, no one cared about the ash cat. It was an anomaly. It could roam the source world as long as it paid a certain price. This was also because its great Tao was special, and it had known this since ancient times. However, the ash cat was weak. Even if it could roam the source world, it would not be of much use. If it had the strength of the heavenly hound, it would be terrifying if it could roam the source world. The heavenly king powerhouses only paid attention to Zhang Tao. At this time, few people noticed that the ash cat was using its claws to rub the big dog's head, its face full of joy. The big dog's head was already breaking, and now it was being rubbed even faster. After rubbing for a while, the ash cat watched the big dog's head shatter and dissipate. Suddenly, it roared in the void, "I, the ash cat, am coming back. Let the three realms tremble. Big dog, captain, fake human emperor, big liar. Come quickly. I want to eat a big fish head, the big fish of suppressing sea. Quickly give me your big fish head." "Wakaka, ha ha, I'm not sleeping anymore." The ash cat laughed so hard that its fat body was trembling. Under the dumbfounded gazes of the heavenly kings, it went straight to Guardian Sea. It stuck out its tongue and stared at the big fish head for a while. Its claws gestured, as if it was measuring where to cut it. Then, under Guardian Sea's murderous gaze, it quickly retracted its fishing rod, grinned from ear to ear, and instantly disappeared from the source world. Guardian Sea almost vomited blood. This cat was so arrogant, damn it. It was actually measuring its own fish head my ass. I'm a Kuanpung, how can I have a fish head? The three realms was going to be in chaos. At this moment, everyone had the same feeling. The heavenly hound was coming back to life, the chief steward of the cat palace was coming back to life, King Wu was going to become a heavenly king, the spring guardian was coming back to life, and the ash cat was not sleeping anymore. It was going to cause trouble. If the three realms was not in chaos, when would it be? And this was not the end. King Wu showed his face and was about to leave soon. However, at this moment, another phantom shot through the void and laughed. "Hong Kuan, how dare you provoke the heavenly hound? The heavenly hound has a close relationship with me. Brother heavenly hound, I'll help you get rid of this guy." On the other side, the heavenly hound could no longer be projected over. The phantom stood proudly on the big planet, glanced over and snorted in its heart. "Who has a close relationship with you?" It knew this guy. He was not a good guy back then. He did not have much of an impression of him. The only thing that left a deep impression was that He once went to rob with the ash cat and was robbed on the way. It should be this old guy. The ash cat probably did not remember because it did not have much contact with him, but it did come into contact with him a few times later. After the collapse of the heavenly realm, the heavenly hound met him several times in the three realms. This old guy was trying to trick people again. No, it was a dog trap. The heavenly hound snorted coldly and ignored it. In fact, it could no longer project the voice transmission. Its explosive period was over. As for these people, they were close to each other, so they could communicate like this. The heavenly hound ignored him and looked at the guy not far from it. You want to fight? Sure. I'll fight you to the end. I've beaten you up for 300 years, and you still won't admit defeat. Today I'll beat you to death, shameless bastard. How dare you peep? It's fine if you peep, but you still want to report me. Back then, I told you not to snatch the spot, but you insisted on snatching it. It's just a small space. If you snatch it, how can I look? If I report you, you should just admit defeat, but you still want to report me. This is a big feud. Guard of the bathhouse, come, let's fight for 3,000 years. I'll wait for you. The guard of the spring was also furious. Alive? It's good that you're alive. I'll blow up your dog head. I'll take revenge for what happened back then today. I went first, and you, a dog, dared to peep at my dream lover. I haven't settled this score with you yet. A man and a dog, in the blink of an eye, disappeared from the source world. At the same time, everything that happened in the source world happened almost instantaneously. At this moment, Fong Ping and the others felt immense pressure. Just as the guard of the spring roared, the Earth King Hall suddenly trembled violently. At this moment, the heavenly hound, who had been standing still, erupted with a dazzling brilliance on its golden body. Screams were heard. It was not the heavenly hound that was screaming. It was Fong Ping and the others, including the two emperors. Powerful energy swept in all directions. Fong Ping and the others were not screaming because of this, but because this dog was shamelessly stripping and robbing their energy. It wanted to revive. However, the energy here was limited. Previously, the guard of the spring had taken away most of it, and now there was not much left. But the heavenly hound did not have energy. Although the golden body was powerful, how could it fight a powerhouse like the guard of the spring without energy? Therefore, it began to rob their energy. The heavenly hound was the master of devouring energy. At this moment, it unleashed its full power. Fong Ping and the others could not help but scream. It was too domineering. Their energy was stripped. Not only energy, but also imperishable substances. This dog was really unscrupulous. No matter who you are, you can talk after you've eaten your fill. Roar! The heavenly hound did not bark like in the source world. Instead, it let out a domineering howl. It howled at the sky, domineering. Shameless, I'll beat you up today. Bastard beast, let's see who's going to beat who up. The two powerhouses had not yet met, but they were already fighting through the air machine. Explosions erupted and exploded. In the shocked eyes of Fong Ping and the others, the Kunwang Hall was originally sealed. At this moment, the top was shattered, revealing the sky. This was the main material for forging holy weapons. However, this was not enough. Forget the main material, even the holy weapons could be broken by both of them. At this moment, the heavenly hound seemed to feel that it did not have enough energy. Suddenly, it opened its mouth wide and sucked toward the Thunder Emperor. Yes, sucked. Just like how Jiao dealt with those martial artists in the past, it ate their energy and not humans. This was because, in its eyes, these weaklings were too weak. The golden body was instead impurities. The Thunder Emperor's expression changed drastically. With a roar, he broke through the air and fled. This time, he gave it his all. The void shattered. Fong Ping saw fourth heaven shattering. Fifth heaven was also shaking. The Thunder Emperor was running with all his might. The heavenly hound had revived. Not only the heavenly hound, No one expected that there was still a peerless powerhouse in Heavenly Court who had also revived at this time. "I am a subordinate of the Kunwang Hall," the Thunder Emperor roared as he ran. He wanted to say a few words, but the Heavenly Hound did not listen to him. Once it did, its voice suddenly sounded like thunder, shaking heaven and earth. It said angrily, "Hong Kuan, you're courting death. When this emperor blows this guy up, I'll settle the score with Hong Kuan." As soon as the words fell, Fong Ping and the others felt a tornado blowing in this place. It was not just a tornado. Fong Ping felt that his energy was out of control. His vitality was constantly overflowing, flying toward the Heavenly Hound. Fong Ping and the others were still affected. Over there, the Thunder Emperor was the main target. At this moment, the Thunder Emperor roared loudly, energy overflowing from his body. Not only that, his flesh and blood were disintegrating, turning into energy, surging into the Heavenly Hound's mouth. At this moment, a figure appeared in the void, shaking heaven and earth, shattering the void. However, at this time, the Spring Guardian who appeared did not stop the Heavenly Hound. He said coldly, "So what if I let you recover? The difference in strength between you and me is not that big." Just as he said that, the next moment this guy suddenly went crazy. Without a word, he punched the Heavenly Hound. The Heavenly Hound laughed maniacally. "Idiot! Idiot! This emperor didn't die back then. This emperor has broken through 8 of his peak, ha ha! Ultimate powerhouse!" It was only at this moment that Fong Ping and the others reacted. The Spring Guardian seemed to have died earlier. When he was destroyed, the celestial realm had only fallen, and the Heavenly Hound had lived 5,000 years longer than him. In these 5,000 years, the Heavenly Hound had broken through 7 to 8, becoming a true ultimate powerhouse. As for the Spring Guardian, he did not seem to realize this just now. At this moment, he seemed to have sensed something unusual and hurriedly made a move. Fong Ping and the others were thinking. In the next second, Fong Ping grabbed Taoist Windcloud's escaping figure, hanging behind him, roaring, "Run, speed up, run!" Taoist Windcloud's face turned green, but he dared not stay. Those two guys were fighting. If they did not run, they would be dead meat. He did not dare to compete with Fong Ping, afraid that if he delayed, none of them would be able to escape. He ran away frantically, his speed unparalleled. Behind him, Ground Oddity and Ground Xing could not care less about hiding their strength. Each of them ran no slower than an emperor. At this moment they were really crazy. It was over. As for the Thunder Emperor, God knew how long he could last. There was no need to guess. Just as the Spring Guardian's fist blasted down, the Heavenly Hound swiped its paw. The moment the man and the dog came into contact, the void shattered. Sixth Heaven. A deep black 6-petal lotus appeared and began to overflow instantly. The Thunder Emperor, who had just been sucked dry, now had despair in his eyes. No. Sixth Heaven. That was not a realm he could resist. Breaking Sixth Heaven, close to 10 million cal vitality outburst. Even if these two had not recovered to their peak, the aftermath of their fight was not something he could resist. The Thunder Emperor was almost begging, "Fengyun, take me, take me." He did not want to die. He did not want to die in such a useless way. However, in front of him, Taoist Windcloud did not even turn his head. Fong Ping, who was hanging on him, did. When he saw the black 6-petal lotus spreading toward him, he was scared out of his wits, frantically transferring energy to Taoist Windcloud. Run faster! Damn it, why was this venerable emperor so useless? He was running so slowly, waiting for death. A low, inaudible tremor was heard. At this moment, the Thunder Emperor had almost no strength to resist and was instantly crushed into pieces. A thunder bone exploded. The Heavenly Hound glanced at it and the bone fell into its paw. He did not have a weapon, so he had to make do with this and beat this shameless guy to death first. Boom. The great path collapsed. The venerable emperor had fallen. However, Fong Ping did not see blood rain this time. At this moment, the two powerhouses seemed to be dissatisfied with being disturbed. One man and one dog, they attacked the sky at the same time. In the void, the blood cloud was directly turned into nothingness by the man and the dog. That old thing, earthly sovereign, is so disgusting. He just had to make it bloody. Collapse my *s. If a small path collapses, then so be it. Boring. This was the heavenly hounds scolding. On the other side, the spring guardian also scolded. Is this old thing disgusting? Oh right, is he really dead? If he's not dead, don't drag me into this. How would I know? How dare you talk back? I'll beat you up. The spring guardian flew into a rage for no reason. The heavenly hound dared to fool him. He would beat this dog to death first. Taking advantage of the fact that both sides had just awakened and their strengths were about the same, if he did not beat it to death now, where would he go to seek revenge against the heavenly hound who had broken 8? Chapter 11:20. The man and the dog were currently engaged in an earth-shattering battle. They were having a good time, but now Fong Ping and the others were suffering. Earthly Exalted, who was the slowest of them all, was groaning as his bones were broken and his flesh melted away. Even though he had unleashed the power of an emperor, he was unable to withstand the shockwaves. These two fellows didn't have to bear the burden of being the fish in the moat. When other experts fought, the stronger they were, the more they would be able to restrain their strength. However, it was hard to tell whether these two were doing it on purpose or if they had really just awakened their strength, causing them to lose control over a large area. The divine city was about to be destroyed. Even an emperor-level powerhouse had to escape. One could imagine how wide the area affected was. At this moment, the entire immortal city fell into a state of panic and despair. The heavenly hound and the spring guardian did not care. The two of them were not kind people to begin with, especially the heavenly hound. Hong Kuan had dared to study its golden body for 3,000 years and play with it like a toy. Would it care about the life and death of Hong Kuan's people? While the man and the dog were fighting, Fong Ping got to work. Rumble! An explosive sound rang out. Earth Xing almost went crazy. Fong Ping was attacking him. Sizzle! His back was cut by the cracks, and he lost a large piece of flesh. Frightened, the earthen deity frantically ran forward. Bang! Fong Ping attacked again. At this moment, he was much more relaxed than before. The wind and cloud's speed was quite fast. Di Xing, do you want to die? Fong Ping grinned. If you don't want to die, hand over your storage ring. Also, give me your fountain of longevity too. Bastard! Earth Xing was enraged. He then roared, Lord Windcloud, leave him behind! Taoist Fengyun didn't say anything. He didn't have time to deal with them. Moreover, Fong Ping was still providing him with energy. He did not want to abandon Fong Ping now. Also, Fong Ping was on good terms with the cat, and the cat was on good terms with the heavenly hound. They might still have to rely on Fong Ping to survive. If they lost Fong Ping now, wouldn't they be courting death? Give it to me. I'll count to 3. Otherwise, you can go to hell. Fong Ping attacked again. A palm shot out. After all, he was a top-notch powerhouse with an explosive power close to 900,000 calories. Even if he could not kill Di Xing, who had become stronger now, it would not be a problem for him to attack from the front and block him for a while. Bastard! Once again, Di Xing was suppressed by Fong Ping and stopped for a moment. This time, it was going to be tough. Chi! The sound of electric welding rang out, and a small part of his head was directly cut off. Earth Xing was so terrified that his soul almost left his body. At this moment, he had no other words. He tossed out the storage ring instantly, and a plump baby flew toward Fong Ping in an instant. This bastard is too despicable. At this time, he still wanted to rob them. He was simply throwing his life away for money. Fong Ping took the storage ring and kept the chubby baby, his face full of smiles. He had obtained all 4 drops of longevity ancient spring water. Xingdi's great Tao was still in his hands, so he wasn't in a hurry to kill this fellow. At this moment, Fong Ping had his eyes on Ground Wonder, which was slightly further away. Chi did not even look at him, continuing to deviate from Fong Ping's direction. I'll walk further away, okay? Master Fengyun, move a little to the left. Fong Ping chuckled. Taoist Fengyun cursed in his heart. Bastard, what do you take me for? This guy was just short of riding on his head. He really wanted to stuff this bastard into the crevice and kill him. Milord, cooperation is the most important thing right now. Don't forget that there's still the heavenly wood forest ahead. Fong Ping was all smiles. Are you afraid? Behind them were the 2 heavenly kings fighting, and in front of them was the heavenly wood forest. They're all my people. Whether they are or not, they're all mine now. Are you afraid? Although I'm not as strong as you, I can scare you to death. Taoist Fengyun's expression was ugly, but he moved slightly to the side. At this moment, Ground Wonder's expression changed. Bastard. This Fengyun fellow actually listened to Fong Ping. Ground Wonder, storage ring, I don't want to say it twice. I'm a kind person, I don't like to kill people. Look, isn't Xingdi alive and well? Hand over the treasure, and whether you can escape or not depends on your luck. Ground Wonder gritted his teeth and did not say anything. A storage ring also flew toward Fong Ping quickly. King Kuan's spear. Fong Ping still remembered that a long imperial spear was also a treasure. He could not miss it. Ground Wonder's expression was frighteningly ugly. He gritted his teeth and a long spear flew toward Fong Ping. Fong Ping was also cautious. Only when the long spear was about to pierce through Fengyun's back did he stretch out his hand to grab it. Once it was in his hand, he immediately felt a sharp aura. It was a good weapon. Not bad. Fong Ping laughed and nodded. Ground Wonder was still considered obedient. Ground Wonder snorted in his heart and did not say anything more. However, at this moment, in front of him, a big seal directly smashed toward him. Bastard! Ground Wonder was furious. Didn't you not attack anymore after you accepted Xingdi's benefits? Why are you attacking again when it's his turn? Ice seal! Ground Wonder roared. Above his hands, a strong burst of cold air erupted, instantly freezing the void in front of him. The Saint Token's speed slowed down. After a moment, it broke the ice layer. And Ground Wonder also took advantage of this moment to shift his direction again. However, this also delayed his speed a little. The cracks on the black lotus behind him were still spreading. With a squelch, a small half of his body was cut off. Fong Ping! Ground Wonder was furious, flustered and exasperated. Fong Ping, this bastard, after accepting the benefits, he still attacked him. He was too hateful. On the other side, Ground Wonder was running away with his head down. He felt that there was no need for him to be angry just now. Fong Ping accepted his benefits and did not attack him. This was already considered good. This person was afraid of comparison. Now that there was a comparison, Ground Wonder was so miserable, he was considered lucky. Fong Ping did not care about this. He continued to control the Saint Token and attacked Ground Wonder. Not only that, Ground Wonder had just avoided the Saint Token when he was cut by the cracks again. On the other side, Fong Ping suddenly broke into his origin, slashing down with his saber. The slash caused the chi of origin to overflow from Ground Wonder's body. He was going crazy. Bastard beast! Ground Wonder was furious. This beast was too hateful. He was a dignified near-emperor-level powerhouse, but at this moment, he had no choice but to be attacked by him. He could not even resist. Fong Ping was dragged by Fengyun. His speed was slightly faster than him. There were still cracks behind him. If he was slightly slower, he would die. Moreover, he did not dare to use too much force. He was afraid that if he hit Fengyun, Taoist Fengyun would turn around and kill him instead. In this way, he was tormented by Fang Ping. "You beast, you're worse than pigs and dogs." "Beast? Worse than pigs and dogs?" These words were not said by Fang Ping. In the distance, a golden silhouette, Tengu, who had already entered the depths of the void with the Spring Guardian, suddenly became angry. "Someone scolded me. Someone actually scolded me. Too arrogant. Too arrogant. Dogs." That was the supreme one. Anyway, that was what Tengu thought. Someone actually dared to scold him. At this moment, behind Ground Wonder, the spreading speed of the cracks suddenly accelerated. Not only that, but when it was their turn, the lotus that appeared in the cracks was no longer 6 petals, but 5 petals. 5 heavens shattered. That was 4 million calories of damage. Although there was a risk of dying against an emperor level, it was not impossible to escape. However, at this moment the lotus that appeared in the cracks changed. 6 petals. Not only 6 petals, at this moment, more than a dozen golden hairs like sharp swords shot toward him. Those were Tengu's hairs. Someone dared to scold him. Did he have a death wish? He did not pay much attention to these small fries. He did not have time to care about them when he was fighting the Spring Guardian. But someone actually scolded him. This was unforgivable. No. Ground Wonder sensed danger, his eyes almost popping out of his head in horror. "No, I'm not scolding you. I'm scolding Fang Ping. Worse than pigs and dogs. This is really a saying, not you." In front, Fang Ping swallowed hard, slapping Taoist Fengyun. "Run faster." Tengu was furious. Naturally, Taoist Fengyun also sensed the danger behind him. He was so angry that he wanted to kill someone. Crazy. Why did he have to provoke Tengu at this time? Was he not courting death? No. Ground Wonder roared in horror. He was not even an emperor level. How could he resist an enraged Tengu? The cracks covered him instantly. He had just escaped danger with a burst of speed when more than a dozen hairs, like more than a dozen Tengu, turned into more than a dozen dog mouths in the air, pouncing toward him. Crack! A dog's mouth bit his shoulder. His shoulder disappeared immediately. A dog's mouth bit his right leg. His right leg disappeared instantly too. Ground Wonder went crazy. He was going to die. Fang Ping. He did not dare to hate Tengu. At this moment, he hated Fang Ping to the core, extremely resentful. "Fang Ping. You deserve to die. Even if I die, I won't let you go. Fang Ping." Fang Ping shuddered, waving his hand. "Don't miss me too much. Also, this has nothing to do with me. You insulted Celestial Emperor for no reason. Aren't you courting death? Celestial Emperor cannot be insulted. He is the first dog. Cats and dogs are humans' best friends. Humans love to make friends with cats and dogs. How dare you insult Celestial Emperor like this? Don't blame me if you die." Ground Wonder was furious. However, he could not even speak now. The last strand of hair turned into a dog's mouth, biting his head and bursting it. He was not dead yet. At this time, his mentality appeared. Not only did it appear, but it also split into many shadows, fleeing in different directions. As soon as the mentality left, the broken golden body was swallowed by the cracks, disappearing instantly. Some of the scattered mentality was swallowed by the cracks, but some escaped by luck. Ground Wonder did not have time to rejoice. Suddenly, something appeared around his scattered mentality. One of the clones had just recovered his senses when a golden man appeared in front of him. It was not strong, probably only rank 7 or 8 strength. To him in his heyday, it was trash that could be killed with a slap. But now this golden body suddenly revealed a disgusting smile on its face. "Ground Wonder, we'll meet again if fate wills it," the golden body said. This was what Fang Ping said when he controlled the golden body. It was just a product condensed from imperishable substances. In the next moment, there was a roar from all directions. Many golden bodies had self-destructed. Even if its strength was average, it was still fatal to Ground Wonder, who was left with only a strand of mentality. Not to mention, there were still space cracks spreading behind. At this moment, the range of the cracks was expanding. Some buildings in God's city were already like locusts passing through, swept by the cracks, disappearing in the blink of an eye. It did not matter if there was anyone in the buildings. At this moment, it did not matter if you were rank 8 or rank 9, even if you were a true god. If you stayed in the area covered by the cracks, only death awaited. Ground Wonder's cries of indignation, anger, and resentment were heard. Kaboom! Accompanied by an explosion, Ground Wonder disappeared, as if he had never appeared in this world. In front, Fong Ping sighed. Why? Do you still want to live after insulting Celestial Emperor? Taoist Fengyun heard it clearly, cursing in his heart. Are you sure Ground Wonder died because he insulted Celestial Emperor? Don't you know how he died? You actually said this at this time. How evil was Fong Ping's heart. At this moment, he was extremely vigilant. He had to be careful, lest he was killed by this bastard. This bastard was too evil. When everyone was running for their lives, he did not forget to extort and cheat people. Far away, in the sky above the Earth King Hall, in the void crack, the Spring Guard suddenly said, "Whose descendant did this person say he is?" The heavenly hound slapped his head and cracked it. The dog's mouth cracked open, laughing savagely. "I don't care whose descendant he is." The Spring Guard was furious. "It must be yours." The Spring Guard scolded. "Just like this dog, ruthless and evil, they did not do anything good." "Hee, I think I heard it. It's something Z-Air. Which Z-Air? That brat from the Spirit Imperial family?" "Impossible." The Spring Guard was furious again. It was impossible. Z-Air from the Spirit Imperial family was so pure. How could she have such a descendant? Don't think that I can't recognize you just because you're wearing human skin. You're with this dog. He sensed some cat's aura. The cat's smell was stronger. This was definitely the scourge of the heavenly hound. Parasites from the heavenly realm. No, parasites from the 3 realms. He would never believe that this was the descendant of the pure and kind little girl in his impression. If that was the case, he would beat the heavenly hound and the cat to death. It was definitely these two who had led others astray. It's Z-Heirs, hee. It might even be from the Spirit Imperial family. The heavenly hound's dog mouth was also extremely infuriating. The Spring Guard was furious again. Their auras were getting stronger and stronger. In the entire mini-world, an energy tornado blew. From all directions, all the energy surged toward the man and the dog. At this moment, in the mini-world where Divine Palace was located, countless powerhouses screamed. Powerhouses were the true core of energy. Any powerhouse would have a huge reserve of energy. These two did not care about that at all. They were absorbing energy. At this moment, some ranked 9 powerhouses who were close to Divine City were sucked dry almost instantly. In Divine City, some Divine Palace soldiers who could not escape in time were also sucked dry instantly. In front of Fong Ping and the others, they also saw a large number of martial artists fleeing. These people had been fleeing since the True God War broke out. However, their speed was not as fast as Fong Ping and the others. Even now, they had not escaped the danger zone. Fong Ping saw a familiar face. From afar, he greeted with a smile, "Chang Shan-chi. Long time no see." In front, Chang Shan-chi, who was still fleeing frantically, changed his expression instantly. Fong Ping's voice. Fong Ping was here? This was his nightmare. The reason why he turned to thunder was to avoid Fong Ping. It was to prove his Tao and have a chance to survive against Fong Ping. But now, he had not gone to Enlightenment Cliff. Why? Why did so many things happen in these 2 days in the powerful divine palace? The incomparably powerful divine palace fell apart in a day. At this moment, he seemed to understand something. True God. Yunsheng. Great War. Fong Ping. You're Yunsheng. Yo, you're quite smart. Fong Ping laughed and reached out to grab him, shouting, Fong Yun, come closer. Let me smack him to death. Bastard. Venerable Lord Fong Yun cursed in his heart. I'm not a monster that pulls a carriage. Right now, he really wanted to kill Fong Ping. This was too infuriating. Quick, I'll take you to hide in Skywood Forest. Otherwise, you won't have anywhere to run. If you go out now, you probably won't be able to. Right now, as expected, a large number of powerhouses have gathered outside. These 2 powerhouses are making such a big commotion that the small world is about to be destroyed. They must have caused a big commotion. If you go out, you'll also die. I've arranged more than 10 Venerable Lord powerhouses to ambush you outside. Venerable Lord Fengyun cursed in his heart again. Do you think I'm an idiot? Where are you going to find more than 10 Venerable Lords? But what Fong Ping said was not without reason. Right now, there were definitely many powerhouses gathered outside. The commotion was too big. These guys did not know what had happened. They might even come in to take a look. Of course, he was overthinking. Some old antiques knew who had awakened. At this moment, some of them had already fled. Who would dare to come in and court death? However, the entrance was still far from here. Skywood Forest was closer. With the protection of a saint, it was safer than now. Thinking of this, Taoist Fengyun suppressed the anger in his heart. Without saying a word, he flew toward Chang Shanqi. No matter how strong Chang Shanqi was, he was only a rank 9. How could his speed compare to an emperor powerhouse? Almost in the blink of an eye, he was standing side by side with Fong Ping. The surrounding rank 9 powerhouses scattered in confusion. They had long run away. Fong Ping was almost walking shoulder to shoulder with him. He grinned and said, Come, tell me how to open Changrong Sky. I'll let you die a quick death. No, maybe you can still live. You can lead the way and bring me to Changrong Sky to play. Chang Shanqi's expression changed. Was he going to say it? Almost instantly, Chang Shanqi said quickly, Okay. Back in the Emperor's tomb, I was blind and offended you, sir. Cut the crap. Fong Ping did not say a word. With a bang, his palm struck out. In the midst of Chang Shanqi's blood-curdling screams, his flesh exploded, leaving behind a head. Fong Ping grabbed the head and laughed. Don't take up too much space. It's not easy for Venerable Emperor Fengyun either. Leaving his head is enough. Chang Shanqi's head was in his grasp. His face showed an expression that was worse than death. Just because it took up too much space, this guy did not say a word and destroyed his golden body. If this was not a devil, then who was? A human king? More like a devil king. However, a bad life was better than a good death. He was a top rank 9. As long as his head was left, he would not die. At this moment, he did not say a word and endured the pain, only hoping to survive. As for revenge, he would think about it after surviving. The aftermath was still spreading. However, it had spread for about 1,000 miles. The crack was no longer in the shape of a 5-petal lotus. At this moment, the crack behind was slowly weakening. 4 petals, 3 petals. When it reached 3 petals, Taoist Fengyun shook his power and Fong Ping was shaken down. Fong Ping did not care. He was a venerable emperor after all. At this moment, both of them looked back. The God City was gone. At least they could not see any traces of its existence. Behind them, it was pitch black. This time, the battle between the 2 powerhouses turned a 1,000-mile radius into a void. This kind of aftershock was simply horrifying. Almost half of the small world was destroyed. Not only in Fong Ping's direction, other directions were also destroyed beyond recognition. This time, it was hard to estimate how many people had died. God Palace is finished. Taoist Fingyun's gaze was complicated. 8,000 years of accumulation was gone just like that. Yes, King Kun was still here. The three great protectors were still here. Most of the powerhouses were in the celestial cemetery. The divine sect's main strength was not lost too much. But the foundation was completely destroyed. As he said that, he looked at Fong Ping. He was gritting his teeth in hatred, but he was somewhat speechless. Fong Ping had infiltrated God Palace for 2 days. And in these 2 days, God Palace was almost destroyed. Did the resurrection of the Spring Guardian and Heavenly Hound have anything to do with Fong Ping? He did not know. In fact, it was very important. Without Fong Ping's interference, even if the Spring Guardian was resurrected, it would not be at this time. At that time, if King Kun was here, he might be discovered by King Kun the moment he was resurrected. King Kun could kill him easily. He could not be resurrected. Even if Heavenly Hound still had a breath left, facing King Kun at his peak, it would not dare to resurrect. Resurrecting would also be courting death. It could be said that if it were not for humans, the two main culprits who destroyed God Palace today might not have the chance to appear in this three realms again. It's over. Fong Ping also sighed, looking helpless. I haven't gone to Enlightenment Cliff yet. Will Enlightenment Cliff be destroyed? There are still good things in Origin. I didn't even have time to cough. Will it be destroyed too? Taoist Fingyun's face was livid. At this time, Di Xing also escaped with difficulty. Glancing at Taoist Fingyun, then at Fong Ping, Di Xing's face was also extremely gloomy. Dead. All dead. 3 emperors and 9 gods. Now only Fingyun and him were left dead. When the sect master left, there were 3 emperors and 11 gods. When the powerhouses had just left, this kind of strength was enough to sweep the 3 realms. But now it was over. And all of this was caused by one person. Fong Ping. Di Xing glanced at the two of them and wanted to leave. He did not want to stay with this dangerous Fong Ping anymore. If he stayed any longer, he was afraid that he would be the next one. In the end, just as he was about to leave, Fong Ping laughed. Di Xing, why are you leaving? I don't eat people. You saw it just now. If you cooperate well, I won't do anything to you. Aren't you still alive? If you leave now, where are you going? In God Palace, these two are still here. If you meet them, you will die. Go out. I think an injured true god like you will also die if you go out now. Why don't we go to Skywood Forest to take refuge? Di Xing's eyes flickered. He did not trust Fong Ping. It was too dangerous. But it was also very dangerous to run around now. Where should he go? The 2 powerhouses were still fighting. He did not know when it would end. Could he always avoid them? Skywood Forest. He was worried that going to Skywood Forest would be even more dangerous than now. Fong Ping invited them enthusiastically. Let's go to Skywood Forest together. Skywood is an ancient first tree after all. It won't be a problem to protect us. At this moment, Fong Ping had made up his mind. He would bring them along. Kill the Kun King's clone first. He wanted to take the opportunity to reap benefits and repair his brain core. This time, the appearance of the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian was also his chance. On the second day he arrived, God Palace was considered to have fallen apart. It was really a pity. There were many places that he did not get to. Chapter 11:21. Because the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian had revived, the Divine Court was in complete chaos. 10,000 feet above. At this moment, King Kun's clone was not thinking about anything else but should he leave? He wanted to leave. He had paid a huge price to condense this clone. If he died here, his main body's strength would be damaged. On the other hand, after merging with the clone, his main body's strength would increase greatly. Now, there were 2 overbearing masters in the Divine Court, and the heavenly hound had a huge grudge with him. The man and the dog were still fighting and did not have time to care about him. However, the divine court was only so big. It was inevitable that they would discover his clone. King Kuan wanted to leave. He wanted to leave, but Tianmu hesitated. Old people became cunning, and so did old trees. He could tell that King Kuan wanted to leave. But should he stop him? If he did, there would be a huge battle. If he did not, with King Kuan's strength close to that of a sage, he still had a chance to leave. But the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian were here. He could not leave. If they knew that he had let King Kuan's clone escape, he could not say anything about the others. But these two, Tianmu had reason to suspect that they would vent their anger on him. It could imagine the reactions of these two. You actually dared to let Hongkuan's clone go? Hongkuan ran away, so you shall suffer our anger. Yes, that was it. Perhaps it was more serious than he imagined. Tianmu was in a dilemma. Who would not resurrect? These two had resurrected. Sigh, the heavens were blind. Good people did not live long, but evil people lived for 1,000 years. The Spring Guardian was better. Although he was not stingy, he usually did not cause trouble. But the Heavenly Hound Tianmu was in a dilemma. Heavenly Hound. If it knew that he had consciousness and produced the origin fruit, its first reaction would probably be to eat him, right? I have to save myself. Tianmu felt miserable. I have to save myself. How could he save himself? Of course, he had to take down Kuan's clone. He also needed to find someone who could speak up for him. Who? Naturally, it was the Human King. The Human King did not know the Heavenly Hound, but he knew the cat. It would be good to ask the cat to speak for him. I have 8 lifetimes of bad luck. Tianmu's face was filled with grief. He wanted to abandon his main body and run away. But if he lost his main body, he would be considered half-crippled. He couldn't bear to do that. Therefore, at this moment, King Kuan's eyes flickered and he wanted to leave. Tianmu's eyes flickered as he stared at him, preparing to intercept him. You can't leave. If you do, I'll be in trouble. You want to stop me? King Kuan had an unfriendly look in his eyes. I'm not going to refine you, yet you want to stop me? Heavenly Wood said gloomily, then lead Celestial Dharch and that person away. I won't stop you. Give me some time to move my main body away. King Kuan almost wanted to slap it to death. This king will lure them? Wouldn't that be like throwing a meat bun at a dog? There would really be no return. Make way. No. Tianmu was unwilling to give way. You can't leave. If you leave, who's going to take the blame? Bastard. You're courting death. King Kuan was furious. He hadn't had a good time these past 2 days. This king will refine you, and my avatar will become a heavenly king. You don't know what's good for you. I'll refine you and then fight those two. Since Tianmu wouldn't leave, he could only continue fighting. If he killed Tianmu and refined him, he might be able to become a heavenly king. At that time, those 2 guys who had just awakened might not be able to do anything to him. Tianmu didn't say anything. You haven't succeeded in 8,000 years. What's the point of saying such harsh words now? Tens of thousands of feet above, the battle was like a raging fire. Of course, their control was extremely strong, and they didn't dare to cause too much of a commotion. If they attracted the attention of those 2, they would be in big trouble. Let those 2 fight first before anything else. Emperor Spirit Dojo. King Kuan left the source world. After a while, Thunder died. After a while, Di Qi died. The experts of the divine sect outside were only Wind and Cloud and a few others. King Kuan didn't care about them. He didn't care about their lives. He was considering whether his avatar should go and rescue them. Losing his avatar was equivalent to having a section of his spiritual energy cut off. Moreover, his avatar wasn't just made of spiritual energy. It was also made with a supreme treasure as a carrier. My avatar isn't dead yet. If I go back now, I might be able to take a gamble and kill Tianmu? In the past, he didn't kill Tianmu because Tianmu wanted to fight him to the death. But now, who cared? If he really died, then so be it. If he died, he would uproot that tree. Although it was no longer active, and might not be able to fuse with the golden body, it could be used to make a powerful weapon. Li Xuanxie. At this moment, King Kuan's eyes were cold as he looked at Heavenly King Subduing. Open the exit. I want to go out. Before Heavenly King Subduing could speak, King Kuan shouted again, those two bastards are causing trouble in the divine court. If you don't open the exit, don't blame me for not letting you go. Heavenly King Subduing looked at him for a while and said slowly, the divine court is just an external object. Why are you in such a hurry to go back? Don't tell me you have a divine artifact hidden there? Then I can't let you go. Otherwise, who would be your match if you got the divine artifact? Bastard! King Kuan was furious. This guy still wanted to stir up trouble. Did he really think he was afraid of him? Crack! Like glass shattering, King Kuan was thousands of meters away from him, but it was as if he was right in front of him. He directly broke through the boundaries of space. His palm and arm were still connected, but the distance was infinitely shortened. He slapped towards Heavenly King Subduing's head. Heavenly King Subduing did not panic and did not make a move. Almost at the same time his palm appeared, he tore through the void and instantly appeared beside Li Zhu. In the next moment, the palm chased after him. Li Zhu's expression was ugly. He did not fight back. With a crack, he tore through space and escaped. Heavenly King Subduing cursed in a low voice, "Coward!" Li Zhu's expression did not change, but he cursed in his heart. "Are you King crazy? Why should I intervene when the two of you are fighting? Am I a coward if I don't intervene? Then what's the point of attacking? Idiot?" Li Zhu could not be bothered. In the next second, Heavenly King Subduing tore through the void again. Just as he was about to appear, Sea Protector Envoy slapped over with an unfriendly expression and said, "Get lost." He was still angry and thinking about what had happened just now. He was thinking about how that bastard Song Mao had measured his head. Now, Heavenly King Subduing wanted to cause trouble. Did he really think he was a vegetarian? Irritable! Heavenly King Subduing had no choice but to tear through the void again and appear behind Moon Spirit and Heaven's Fate. This time, the two of them also had unfriendly gazes. Heavenly King Subduing sighed and said, "Are we really going to be defeated by him one by one? The two of you join forces. One is not his match. If the three of us fight one, even if we can't win, we won't lose." Just as Heaven's Fate was about to speak, Heavenly King Subduing quickly sent a voice transmission. "Fight. If you don't fight, I'll dig your father's grave later." "Father!" Heaven's Fate was sad. "Father, without you, everyone is bullying me. It's fine if they bully me, but now someone is threatening to dig my grave. Where is the justice? Father, you are an emperor after all, a supreme existence. I have also become a heavenly king. Why do I feel that the Western Emperor's bloodline is so miserable? Pick on the weak." Heavenly King Subduing bullied the weakest two of them. He shamelessly forced the two of them into an alliance. *CK him. At this moment, King Kuan's face was also frighteningly livid. He was really angry. "Everyone, are you just going to watch him be so impudent?" He roped in the cat. Now that Heavenly Hound has recovered, although Heavenly Hound and that guy are not on good terms, they won't fight to the death. This old thing will become a huge problem sooner or later. King Kuan scolded angrily. "Are you all blind? Can't you see the situation clearly?" Heavenly Hound had recovered, and the cat was obviously on the same side as Heavenly King Subduing. The one in the cat palace had not recovered yet. Once he recovered and another one came, who could resist? As soon as he said that, King Zhen said softly, "Heavenly King Subduing, Since King Kuan wants to leave, let him leave. It seemed like he was speaking up for King Kuan, but in fact, he was waiting to watch the show. It was a good thing to let King Kuan leave. Not to mention that there was one less competitor here. If they met Heavenly Hound in the outside world and fought again, there would be a good show to watch. However, Heavenly King Subduing couldn't be bothered. Let him go? What would happen to the outside world if he left? Heavenly Hound wasn't reliable. That dog was used to doing whatever he wanted. Even if it was the cat, Heavenly Hound couldn't do whatever he wanted. If it was really possible, Heavenly Hound wouldn't have gone to the Heavenly Tomb back then. The Heavenly Hound was also a peerless expert. He had his own principles when doing things. King Kuan had left. If he didn't go out, the human world would be destroyed. But if he were to go out, Zhang Tao and the others would have to go out as well. Otherwise, they would still be killed. All of them had left. It was over. The Heavenly Grave plan had been completely ruined. It had only been a month. Although there were people in the outside world who had awakened, that didn't count for much. Those who had just awakened would quickly go back into hiding. They hadn't even recovered to their peak. It was necessary for him to appear now. If Cat Tree didn't appear, Sage Yue and the others wouldn't appear. If the Guardian of the Spring did not appear, the Heavenly Hound might not appear either. There were definitely more people who were secretly reviving, but not many of them had shown themselves. Therefore, King Kuan could not leave. Heavenly King Zhen didn't say anything. The three of them joined forces and attacked King Kuan at the same time. King Kuan was furious. His palm turned into a fist. At this moment, there were only countless fist shadows in the world. The banging sounds did not stop. Almost in the blink of an eye, Heaven's Pole spat out a mouthful of blood and flew back several hundred meters. Moon Spirit coughed up blood. She also stepped through the void and took several steps back. The Heavenly King suppressing Heavenly King didn't have it easy either. He smashed into the void and retreated continuously. On the other side, King Kuan's expression was getting uglier and uglier. Was he that strong? In a 1 versus 3 situation with an old ghost, he easily beat the three of them until they vomited blood and flew backward. Did he break 8 or 9? Who would believe him if he pretended to be like this? Regardless of whether they believed him or not, at this moment, the few Heavenly King powerhouses' eyes flickered. He was really strong. A powerhouse who broke 7 was not just for show. Breaking 7 was usually a vitality outburst of 10 million cal. However, 10 million cal to 20 million calories was considered to be in the range of breaking 7. Under normal circumstances, one's limit exceeded 20 million calories to break 8 because it was difficult to achieve 100% control of one's strength. The feeling that King Kuan gave them was not at the level of someone who had just broken 7. This Heavenly King had really improved a lot in the past 8,000 years. The others had more or less improved, but compared to King Kuan, there was a huge gap. 8,000 years. In 8,000 years, some people did not even improve at all. Hong Kuan, I've really underestimated you. Enough? King Kuan growled and said coldly, Li Xuanxia, do you really think that I know nothing about you? 3,000 years ago, you and I fought once. That time, I had just broken 7 and almost lost my golden body to you. 2,500 years ago, we besieged the Demon Emperor dynasty. You and I were watching the battle from the void. Your aura attracted the Demon Emperor. You can't get away with the Demon Emperor's death. 2,000 years ago, the war between the North and the South broke out. I wanted to capture all of them in one fell swoop, but someone secretly broke the 5 elements formation that I had set up, allowing them to escape. 1,000 years ago, unquestionable Jian killed a Beyond Heaven Emperor. I had just left the Divine Court when I was attacked from afar. You say that person wasn't you? I know how strong you are. What are you hiding? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do by trapping us here? To buy time for humans? What a joke. I don't believe that your goal is so simple. King Kun said coldly, I think you can't wait for the three realms to fall into chaos. If not for you, how could those people have recovered? If not for you, Tengu and the others would not have had the chance to recover. You led me here to give them a chance to recover. Li Xuanxie, Li Zhen. What are you trying to do? Do you want the three realms to fall into chaos and start the trend? I have always suspected that you were involved in the battle in the Heaven Realm back then. Everyone looked at Heavenly King Zhen silently. Heavenly King Zhen said weakly, Does anyone believe that? Hong Kun, at this time, you are an expert who broke through the 7th level, why do you have to do this? Don't try that with me. King Kun was furious. Nothing good had happened to him after he entered Spirit Emperor Dojo. This old thing had provoked him time and time again, bullying him, yes, bullying him. He couldn't put down his pride. Otherwise, he would have shouted, Father, everyone bullied me when you weren't around. Especially this old man. He was really despicable. Shameless. Despicable. Shameless. King Kun was about to explode from anger. He had a good mentality and was calm. For 8,000 years, he had watched the rise and fall of civilization and the vicissitudes of life. He was very calm. However, his calmness depended on who he was dealing with. He was really angry at this old thing who might be older than him. After living for 10,000 years, he didn't even care about his pride anymore. Heavenly cats and heavenly dogs were beasts. He didn't care about them. As an expert from the ancient times, how could he be so shameless? King Kun was extremely angry and said coldly, Do you really think everyone is a fool? That you can control? For the past 8,000 years, you were involved in every incident that happened. If you want to start a war, then start a war. If you want to stop, then stop. Suppressing the king's house for 1,000 years, wasn't it because you were afraid that Moon Spirit would come out and mess up the situation? Suppressing unquestionable Jian, wasn't it to let the situation develop according to your plan? You keep stopping me because everything is going according to your plan, right? What do you want to guide? The human race has become the main character of the current situation because of your guidance. Otherwise, the land would be the main character. 1,000 years ago, the situation should have started, and there shouldn't have been so many people awakening. After waiting for 1,000 years, did you calculate that so many people would awaken now? Among the crowd, some were silent, and some had a change of expression. Some looked at unquestionable Jian. 1,000 years ago, Heavenly King Zhen suppressed unquestionable Jian? Unbelievable! The Demon Emperor didn't say anything, neither did he admit nor deny it. Moon Spirit's expression changed, and she didn't speak either. It was true that Heavenly King Zhen suppressed the king's house for 1,000 years. I think your Heavenly King Zhen suppressed the sky. Not the Heavenly King. Li Xuanxie, you are the mastermind of the three realms chaos. Heavenly King Zhen laughed. You are very imaginative. It's all your fault, but you know how to shift the blame. Expose the truth? I know how to do that too. Heavenly King Zhen grinned. If we really expose the truth, you are the one who will suffer. 8,000 years ago, when the Heaven Realm was destroyed, you didn't leave immediately and didn't die in that battle. Instead, you returned to the Earth Emperor Palace. That time, the Earth Emperor should have returned once. At least, he didn't die then. What did he tell you? After that, you established the Celestial Court and worked in the dark. In a short 8,000 years, you went from breaking 6 to 7 and even 8. Do you, Hongkuan, have this talent? Don't you know how Hongyu died? I forgot to mention. 8,000 years ago, you and your brother joined forces to establish the Celestial Court. Then you fell out. Hongyu's death is strange, but do you dare say you didn't do it? As soon as he said this, Moon Spirit shouted angrily, Nonsense. Hongyu died in that battle in the Heaven Realm. I'm not talking nonsense. Heavenly King Zhen grinned. When the Heaven Realm was destroyed, Hongyu wasn't dead yet. Of course, he didn't live for long and died soon after. Also, Tianji and Tianming. I remember that you entered the celestial court as well. Some of the 8 guardians were divine masters. You were one of them, weren't you? Why did you betray the celestial court and join the demon emperor dynasty? Everyone was surprised to hear this. The 2 kings were also from the celestial court? Tianji arched a brow. Tianming sighed and snorted. You old ghost, you know quite a lot. But the celestial court is different from the celestial court. We didn't enter the celestial court back then, and we weren't King Koan's subordinates. The celestial court had 2 masters, and we weren't King Koan's subordinates. Heavenly King Zhen smiled. So, you're Hong Yu's subordinates, right? The demon emperor who appeared later had something to do with Hong Yu? Was the demon emperor dynasty founded by Hong Yu? But I remember that he died before the demon emperor dynasty. The 2 kings fell silent. The others' eyes flickered. It seemed that there were a lot of inside stories in the past 8,000 years. The most surprising thing was the establishment of the demon emperor god dynasty. Where did the earthly emperor's clone come from? Hong Koan didn't acknowledge him. He was his father's clone, but he called him the demon emperor. Clearly, he didn't feel close to him. Heavenly King Zhen smiled again. Hong Koan, I'm not interested in anything else. I just want to ask you, what did the earthly emperor say to you back then? Did it have something to do with the Emperor Dao? Nonsense. King Koan snorted, but he was shocked. This old ghost didn't leave back then. You know better than I do whether it's nonsense or not. Heavenly King Zhen said with a smile. Then tell me, how did you manage to go from breaking 6 to perhaps breaking 8 in the past 8,000 years when the Great Path was almost sealed? Your spiritual consciousness was cut off. Do you think I can't tell? Your broken spiritual consciousness actually allowed you to break 7, and you're not even a beginner. I didn't overestimate you when I said you broke 8, did I? How can you, Hong Koan, surpass all of us? You weren't even Tian Kuei back then, but now you're the strongest of the 3 realms. Not far away, Saint Tian Kuei's eyelids twitched. Why did he drag me in? What did he mean by he wasn't even as good as Tian Kuei? Hong Koan was young back then, and there were many people he wasn't as good as. Why did he drag me in? But he went from breaking 6 to becoming a heavenly king, and now he might have broken 8. Thinking about it, the others were also curious. What did Hong Koan get from the earthly emperor? What did he know? His strength had improved too quickly. Yes, too quickly. Although 8,000 years seemed to be a long time, no one had given up on cultivation in those 8,000 years. But now, who had broken 8? These 2 exposed each other, and for a moment, it aroused everyone's vigilance. These 2 had almost never slept in the past 8,000 years, and they were always on the move. What were they planning? Compared to them, the others had more or less slept for a period of time. Just as everyone was silent, unquestionable Jian, who had not spoken much, suddenly smiled faintly. Why mention these things again? In this era, there are novice martial artists, ancient martial artists, demon emperors, sects, neo-martial artists, powerhouses from many eras. Now, it's almost time for the final result to appear. Why pursue the past now? I'm actually curious about one thing. Will there be emperors returning next? Everyone was very concerned. Would emperors return? Heavenly King Zhen said lazily, who knows? In the battle back then, the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors were the main force of the battle. The others were just affected, so the others recovered. Whether the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors can return depends on luck. Then Wang Jinyang and the others, them? Heavenly King Zhen thought about it and said with a smile, who knows if the 4 emperors really reincarnated, or if a wisp of spiritual consciousness reincarnated. At their level, casually cutting off a bit of spiritual consciousness can also have the ability to revive life. Did the 4 emperors really reincarnate? Not necessarily. As for appearing in the human race, maybe it's also a plan, who knows? Unquestionable Jian looked at him, and was speechless for a long time. The 4 emperors might not have reincarnated? When these words came out, it was like a raging storm. Heavenly King Zhen was unwilling to say more. He looked at King Kuan and said with a smile, Hongkuan, do you want to continue? If not, then break the formation. I suspect that there might not be any treasure here. Maybe Spirit Emperor left us some clues. What? Clues about the heavenly realms shattering? Heavenly King Zhen said lightly, I actually also want to know why that battle broke out back then. The way that battle broke out was very strange. Ridiculous, you really don't know? You know? Heavenly King Zhen said playfully, if you know, then why not tell me? Is it because of the Immortal Source project? King Kuan was speechless. He closed his eyes and fell silent for a while. He suppressed everything and regained his calmness. Okay, then continue to break the formation. Li Xuanxie, if you dare to find trouble again, I will not let you off. Heavenly King Zhen ignored him. You're not happy with finding trouble? I can't be bothered with you. The battle ended with words. Seeing that he left, Heaven's Pole suddenly looked at Moon Spirit and said, I'm not crazy, I think I'm normal. Apart from the 2 of us, everyone else here is actually crazy. The moment he said that, Moon Spirit seemed to really think about it carefully. After a while, she nodded slightly. Yes, apart from the 2 of them, everyone else here was really a little crazy. What was true could be false, and what was false could be true. Only they themselves knew who was truly crazy and who was faking it. P.S. Diarrhea to the point of doubting life, legs weak, acting pitiful, asking for monthly votes, asking for subscriptions, asking for recommendations, fighting for midnight. If there's no midnight, everyone go to sleep. Chapter 11:22. Pantheon. The sky was falling and the earth was cracking. The 2 powerhouses were still fighting. As for Fong Ping, he had no time to care about them now. Continue fighting, the longer the better. Please don't come looking for them now. He wanted to reap the benefits. He wanted to find tonics to repair his brain nucleus. This time, he had gained a lot from the evil sect. The 4 fat babies could help him repair his brain nucleus now, but the speed was too slow. Fong Ping did not want to repair 1 or 2 per day. He wanted to repair them all as soon as possible. Now, the powerhouses were revived. The 3 realms would be in chaos again. The era where he dominated would soon become a thing of the past. This was something Fong Ping could not tolerate. It was not easy for him to become the boss. It would not do if he was defeated in just a few days. Skywood Forest gradually came into view. At this moment, Fong Ping and the rest looked solemn. Taoist Fengyun looked at the dark sky, feeling a little breathless. He said in a low voice, Fong Ping, since we're working together, tell me, who's fighting above 10,000 feet? If he did not get close, he could not sense it clearly. However, as soon as he got closer, he sensed that there were powerhouses fighting. Very powerful. Maybe 2 saints were fighting in the sky. He wanted to curse. There were 2 heavenly kings fighting before, and now there were 2 saints fighting here. Since when did Pantheon have so many powerhouses? He, the venerable emperor, was about to become a stray dog. He could not say that. Idioms should not be used indiscriminately. At this moment, Taoist Fengyun reminded himself very seriously in his heart not to talk nonsense. He would die. He would really die. See how Di Qi died? If he cursed lower than a pig or a dog, he would die without a whole corpse. If he said a stray dog, with Celestial Emperor's personality, he would chase him to 9th heaven. He was nervous. Di Xing was almost in despair. A true god. A supreme existence. But today? Today was too tragic to look at. He even exchanged for a Tao and became an existence close to an emperor. However, he still felt like he was in danger. Fang Ping was also staring above 10,000 feet. He thought for a while and smiled. "Both of you, do you dare to do something big with me?" Both of them said nothing. Fang Ping said again, "At this point, what are you afraid of? Besides, I'm afraid you don't know what's up there. If Skywood's enemies don't die, you will." Taoist Fengyun was silent for a moment, then slowly said, "I've roughly guessed it." Fengyun's expression kept changing as he said in a deep voice, "Is it the sect leader's people, or the sect leader himself?" "Impossible!" Di Xing exclaimed. Fang Ping was a little surprised. Taoist Fengyun was indeed a smart person. This fellow had traveled the three realms for many years. He was not just for show. "It's the Koan King's clone." Fang Ping did not hide anything. He smiled and said, "If he doesn't die. Both of you, you've betrayed him, haven't you?" Fengyun coldly said, "Betray? The divine court only cared about profit. If we help the sect master kill Tianmu, then it will not be a betrayal, but a meritorious service. Fang Ping, don't use your way of thinking to measure us." "What betrayal? If he were to help King Kuan kill Tianmu now, he would be the greatest contributor and King Kuan would definitely reward him." As soon as he said that, Di Xing was ready to make a move. He looked at Fang Ping, his eyes flickering. The sect master was actually here. If he had the protection of the sect leader, as he was thinking, Fang Ping suddenly smiled and said, "You're a smart person. Are you sure you want to help King Kuan's clone? It's true that King Kuan's clone has saint-level combat strength. But Tianmu also has saint-level combat strength. Also, don't forget those two. The Celestial Emperor has been humiliated by King Kuan like a toy for so many years. Once the battle breaks out and the qi spreads, do you think the Celestial Emperor will continue to fight with the Spring Guardian or come here to kill King Kuan's clone? As for the Spring Guardian, King Kuan has occupied its lair for so many years. Even if it doesn't see King Kuan as an enemy, it probably doesn't have a good impression of it, right?" As Fang Ping said that, he smiled and said, "Also, do you really think I came to the cult unprepared? Fengyun, you know everything that happened in the three realms the best. Don't you know anything about what happened on Earth previously? Don't you have any guesses about who replaced me in the live broadcast that day? That person is still there. He's just outside, ready to receive me. I didn't lie to you, because I told him that there are saint-level holy fruits here. He likes to eat these, so he can't wait. When you and King Kuan work together to kill Tianmu, he will dare to call for the Celestial Emperor and chase you until you die. It's really him." Taoist Fengyun sighed suddenly. He had guessed it before, but he dared not believe it. The cat left. He went to the Sky Cemetery. Why did he appear on Earth? At this moment, he thought of many things and said suddenly, "The appearance of the Sky Cemetery is too coincidental. Fang Ping, is the Sky Cemetery real or fake?" Fang Ping smiled without saying a word. Taoist Fengyun's expression changed again. "A scam. The Three Realms scam. The Sky Cemetery was fake. Everything was fake. It was just a self-directed and self-acted show by humans. The cat was guarding the humans while Fang Ping was stirring up trouble outside. The three realms were in turmoil. If it were not for powerhouses like Tengu coming back to life, the humans would probably be the biggest winner. In the three realms, were there any other emperor-level powerhouses besides him? Not counting those who came back to life, there might not be any. In other words, if there were no powerhouses coming back to life this time, if Fang Ping really escaped and roped in Tianmu, perhaps the humans would be the top force in the three realms. What a plan! Marshal King and the others were really ruthless. The battle that day turned out to be a plan. Everything was under control. The human race is really scary. Taoist Fengyun suddenly lamented, "If there were no ancient powerhouses coming back to life, I'm afraid the human race would become the strongest force in the three realms sooner or later." Worthy of being the main character this time. Heavenly King Garrison, Martial King, and now you, the Human King, 3 generations of inheritance, each generation more terrifying than the last. Even if Fong Ping's ability was not as much as Heavenly King Garrison and Martial King, he still felt that Fong Ping was very scary. This fellow could stir up trouble even without strength. This was the real Grim Reaper. He dared to break into the Catacombs Forbidden Zone as a rank 8. As a rank 9, he led a team to destroy the catacombs and the powerhouses of various sects, participated in the Battle of True Gods, and obtained rewards. Now that he was a true god, at this moment, Taoist Fengyun was shocked and said suddenly, "I just want to ask, are you a true god?" Di Xing was stunned. What did he mean? This fellow had killed a few true gods, no, more than 2 digits, and you're asking if he was a true god? Are you kidding me? However, Taoist Fengyun did not care about him. His eyes were sharp as he looked at Fong Ping. You're a genius who advanced through 9. According to some of my information, after your golden body 9 refinements, your vitality will change qualitatively. 9 refinement golden body has a higher limit and is stronger. At rank 8, you can reach the 200,000 calories vitality limit. At rank 9 transformation, the origin grows. If you really want to become a true god, even if it's just a beginner, your vitality base will at least be 350,000 calories. You've already changed qualitatively once. It's equivalent to 700,000 calories of peak vitality and 1.4 million calories of rank 9 vitality. After the origin grows, you may directly have Emperor-level combat strength. Fong Ping laughed. After the 9 refinements, there will no longer be a qualitative change when you reach the peak. Don't you know this? As soon as he said that, Taoist Fengyun frowned. He really did not understand this. Not only him. Did King Kuan understand? Not necessarily. In this 3 realms there were probably only a few people who really knew. Celestial Emperor Batian should know. He should have advanced to rank 9 golden body 9 refinement. Emperor, it was hard to say. It might be, it might not be. Other than these people, the beginner martial artists might also know. However, he, Taoist Fengyun, really did not know. Fong Ping chuckled. Of course, I've achieved Tao. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to fake the scene of Yunxing achieving Tao. However, without the qualitative change of peak, it's still alright. Although I don't have Emperor-level combat strength, I'm more or less in the middle of the peak. Taoist Fengyun looked at him suspiciously. Was it true? Whether Fong Ping was at the peak now was actually very important. He was at the peak. Although he was scary, there were many geniuses like this. From ancient times until now, there were many. Even if the unquestionable sword was only a double 8 advancement, it had also honed to the 9 refinements of golden body when it was rank 9. If Fong Ping did not have the qualitative change of vitality at the peak, then the gap would be even. It only made him a notch better than others when he was rank 9. However, the 9 refinements of golden body that was as difficult as ascending to heaven. If there was no qualitative change at the peak, then what was the point of only being strong at rank 9? What a pity! What a pity that there was no reference. He could not judge how many meters Fong Ping's origin had gone. If Fong Ping was still not at the peak now, then it was really terrifying. A non-peak combat strength comparable to a peak 4 or 5. When he reached the peak, he had Emperor-level combat strength directly. If so, then this fellow would be terrifying. Counterattack. One had to know that between powerhouses, counterattacking some powerhouses who were not too far apart was still okay, but to be able to counterattack when there was a difference of a level, how scary was that? You really achieved Tao? Fong Ping was speechless, saying helplessly, "Do I still need to lie to you about this? If I really didn't achieve Tao, I would have this strength now as a rank 9, I would have long hidden and waited to advance to the peak. Why would I take the risk to come here? When I reached the peak, it was difficult to advance, so I came here to look for opportunities. I forgot to mention, I didn't come here with the intention to cause trouble. I just wanted to get some opportunities, like Enlightened Cliff, Longevity Spring. Who knew you guys insisted on killing me? If it wasn't for Venerable Emperor Flamingo wanting to kill me yesterday, would I have to be like this? He said he felt wronged. Both of them were a little dazed. You came here to get opportunities? Oh right, yesterday. If you didn't mention yesterday, we almost forgot. You just entered Pantheon yesterday. How did you do it? Did you manage to destroy Pantheon in 2 days? Fong Ping did not talk about this. Although the three of them were not on the same side, Fong Ping was still as gentle as a friend, saying in a gentle tone, "Both of you, life and death is decided in a moment. Are you going to cooperate to kill King Kuan's avatar, or help King Kuan kill us? You said it yourself, evil sects prioritize benefits. If that's the case, think about it. How can you maximize the benefits?" Daoist Windcloud closed his eyes. Soon, he opened them and said, "How can we guarantee that we can survive?" As soon as he said that, Dexing looked at Fong Ping with a sharp gaze. How to guarantee their survival, this was the most important. If you want to live, it's simple. Fong Ping said lightly, "Promises are useless, there's only one thing, benefits. We can only talk about benefits. If you guys don't attack humans, killing you guys isn't really necessary. On the other hand, if we don't kill you guys, you might still be of some use." Fengyun interrupted, "I have my own plans for these in the future. I just want to know, after the death of the sect leader's avatar, you guys have the absolute advantage, how will you let us leave?" As he said that, he and Dexing looked at each other. If they could not do it, they had to leave immediately. Maybe they could still escape. Fong Ping also pondered, thinking for a moment, and said, "This is indeed a little worrying. If it were me, I wouldn't be at ease either. It's not important whether I let you guys go or not. After killing King Kuan's avatar, the main thing is whether Heavenly Wood and Celestial Emperor will let you guys go. You can try. Maybe Heavenly Wood has a way to make you guys feel at ease." As for Celestial Emperor, Fong Ping smiled. "I won't help you guys plead, and I won't frame you guys, that's it. This is also the only thing I, Fong Ping, can do. This is also the only promise I, the Human King, can make now." Their eyes flickered uncertainly. Dexing said gloomily, "Maybe there's another way. For example, capturing you." Fong Ping chuckled. "Don't be silly. I'm not the son of Heavenly Wood and Celestial Emperor. What's the use of capturing me? With Celestial Emperor's overbearing personality, how can he be threatened by you? Dexing, these 10,000 years of your life, have you been living in your stomach?" Both of them looked at him. "Say it." Fong Ping cursed in his heart. This dog's stomach did not even dare to say it. This heavenly hound guy was a little scary. Fong Ping's promise, we really can't believe it. Thinking of this, Taoist Fengyun sighed. "How about this, I'll buy my own life. First, after I leave this place alive, I'll find a chance to give it to you. Otherwise, we'll all perish together. Second, a piece of information. It's not about the 3 realms today, but about some powerhouses from ancient times. Others might know about this, but I've been traveling since ancient times, so others might not know more than I do. Thirdly, I think you'll need some information about the realm beyond heavens. Fourth, some truth about the Demon Emperor dynasty, you'll need it too. Fifth, there's some information about the previous pope of the human race. This old man thinks that you might be interested in this as well." Taoist Fengyun looked at him and said with a straight face, "This is what I rely on to live. Everything is in my head. If you want to know everything, then let me live." Fong Ping said mildly, "Who can guarantee that you'll tell me after you leave?" Taoist Fengyun smiled faintly. "These things aren't secrets to some people. If I tell you, I might be able to reduce some troubles, such as your hostility toward humans. If I don't, then with your personality, you won't let me go. I'm not stupid. What do you think I'll choose? Smart man. Fong Ping smiled. You're really smart, Guardian Fengyun. Very well, I'm indeed interested. If that's the case, Guardian Fengyun has succeeded. At this moment, Di Xing glanced at Taoist Fengyun, then at Fong Ping. Seeing that he was silent, Taoist Fengyun sighed. Di Xing, I guess. Countless powerhouses from the divine sect have fallen, and the heavenly court is also disbanded. One person alive is one person. Fong Ping smiled and nodded, saying nothing more. He did not care whether Di Xing was alive or dead. Di Xing's Tao was with him. If Di Xing did not die, he might still be useful, but if he died, it would be a loss. The three of them did not speak again. They were already close to Skywood Forest. In the sky, the roars were endless. At this time, a face suddenly appeared on the huge tree trunk. King of Man! Heavenly Wood was very excited. Then, he looked at Taoist Fengyun and Taoist Fengyun warily, not saying a word. Fong Ping smiled. Elder Mu, we're here to help you. A just cause enjoys much support, while an unjust one finds little support. King Kuan's perverse actions have angered both men and gods. Killing King Kuan is everyone's responsibility. Heavenly Wood, Taoist Fengyun, they were speechless. What did King Kuan do to you? Although the evil sect had been trying to develop in the human world all these years, it did not develop, did it? In the Battle of the King's Battleground, King Kuan did bring people to fight, but because of Moon Spirit's interference, no one was hurt. In the end, look at what you've done. You've almost wiped out the Heavenly Court's forces in the outside world. Of course, it was not easy to say this out loud. Fong Ping did not care what they thought. He said quickly, Elder Mu, how can we help you? King Kuan's clone is very powerful. Even if we attack, we might not be able to do anything to him. It's fine. Heavenly Wood said quickly, if you really want to help me, you just need to cut off the spiritual energy supply within 100 miles. King Kuan is just a clone. The spiritual energy comes from heaven and earth. That simple? Fong Ping winked at him. Not so simple. Let Fengyun do it. Heavenly Wood could not be bothered with him. It was too dangerous. Once this Emperor level joined the battle and turned against him, it would be suicidal. Fong Ping did not care about his life or death, but how could he not care? It was fine to let these people do some auxiliary work. How could Heavenly Wood be at ease if they were to join the battle? After thinking for a while, Heavenly Wood said, also, after cutting off the spiritual energy supply, if you trust me, then use your spiritual consciousness to materialize. I will send your spiritual consciousness incarnations into the celestial chessboard. Part of King Kuan's clones and my spiritual consciousness is integrated into the celestial chessboard. You can kill King Kuan's spiritual consciousness incarnation in the celestial chessboard and weaken his strength. I will kill him outside. Taoist Fengyun's expression changed slightly. Celestial chessboard? A formation that imprisons both parties' spiritual consciousness? This is a formation that will not rest until one side is completely dead. The chessboard will not disperse. Yes. Heavenly Wood was a little surprised by his knowledge. He said quickly, but if we work together, King Kuan will definitely die this time. Fengyun said in a low voice, then how can we guarantee that Heavenly Wood Sage will not write books to us after this? Heavenly Wood laughed. I don't want to meddle. Even if I killed King Kuan's clone, I had no choice. As for Guardian Fengyun, I dare not kill him to avoid trouble, right? As soon as he said that, Fong Ping looked at Taoist Fengyun in surprise. Taoist Fengyun did not say anything, his eyes flickering slightly. After a while, he said, the Celestial Emperor will not have any scruples. Then there is nothing I can do. Heavenly Wood sighed. The only one who can dissuade the Celestial Emperor is the Sky Emperor. If the King of Man helps, nothing will happen to you. Although the Celestial Emperor is domineering, he will not kill for no reason. Fong Ping laughed. I will try my best. Let's cut the nonsense. Everyone, since we have decided, let's take action. I can't wait. I have killed an emperor before, but killing a heavenly king. This is my first time. I am a little excited. Everyone, please hurry up. They were speechless again. Killing an emperor. Those who did not know would think that he was a heavenly king or a saint. Even a saint would not be able to kill an emperor so easily. This fellow really had no inhibitions and was unscrupulous. When he mentioned killing a heavenly king, he was not afraid at all. Such a person was truly terrifying when he was powerful. The few of them reached an agreement and did not talk nonsense anymore. In the next moment, the three of them soared into the sky. At this moment, there were no more restrictions. The three of them stood in three directions, roaring. Their mentality erupted, energy solidified, and they set up a seal, sealing off the void, not giving King Kuan a chance to absorb the energy around him. At this time, 100,000 feet above, King Kuan also erupted, his figure floating high in the sky. His voice was bone-chilling as he shouted coldly, Feng Yun, Dixing, how stupid are you? If I really die, do you really think you can live? You help me kill Heavenly Wood. I have integrated Heavenly Wood's golden body and achieved Heavenly King. Even if Heavenly Hound and Stonehenge join forces, they may not be able to keep me here. After saying that, he shouted again, I only need Heavenly Wood's golden body. Heavenly Wood also condensed a fruit of origin, a saint-level fruit of origin, the only one in the three realms. Eat the fruit of origin, Feng Yun, you have a chance to become a saint. This is absolutely true. Why don't you lend me a hand and kill Tianmu? On the other side, the old man who had transformed from Heavenly Wood struck with his crutch, dispersing the shadow. He said softly, Your Highness, you think too much. Even if I die, Your Highness will not get what you want. If I destroy everything before I die, everything Your Highness said will be an illusion. Your Highness, do you think anyone will be deceived by you? Fong Ping ignored them. At this moment, he was sealing off the void. He needed King Kuan's spiritual crystal. Of course. Fong Ping also wanted the fruit of origin. When he heard it, he felt that it was incredible. The fruit formed from the origin? The only one in the three realms? Could one become a saint after eating it? This was a treasure. I want it. No, Nanmao wants it. Fong Ping calculated in his heart. He did not know when Heavenly Hound would finish fighting. If he said that Nanmao wanted it, would Heavenly Hound snatch it himself or give it to Nanmao? How complicated. Heavenly Hound was very domineering. According to Nanmao, he had robbed Nanmao in the past. If the Heavenly Hound were to snatch it away, where would he go to snatch it? Fong Ping thought to himself, but his movements were not slow at all. At this moment, he let out a series of low growls, his golden body unleashed, mentality gushed out, and quickly began to seal the void, not allowing any energy to flow. Taoist Feng Yun and Dexing Xing were both decisive people. They had already made up their minds. Now that they were stuck in a stalemate, they would most likely die a horrible death. Moreover, what belonged to Heavenly Wood belonged to Heavenly Wood. No matter how good the item was, would it be their turn? The Heavenly Hound was still around. Even if Heavenly Wood were to self-detonate, they would still end up with nothing. If King Kuan could easily snatch Tianmu's golden body, he wouldn't have been fighting with Tianmu for the past 8,000 years. In the Heavenly Wood Forest, the battle was in full swing. Above the Earth King Palace, the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Keeper suddenly looked in the direction of the Heavenly Wood Forest. At this moment, the battle was even more intense than before, and both of them could sense it. Hongkuan's doppelganger? That tree has become a spirit? The Heavenly Dog's eyes lit up and suddenly said, The one guarding the bathhouse, this tree is a good thing. The Spring Keeper coldly snorted. Something good? No matter how good it is, I won't get a share since I met you. I don't want it, and I won't give it to you. I'll pester you to death today. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.